What's up, y'all? Welcome to Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk. We're talking superheroes, movies, TV, video games, anime, action figures, and more. I'm Lawrence St. Victor. We got Jack Walker Pearson. We got Christopher St. Victor. We got Richard Wilson. This episode, we're talking about anime. We're going into our likes and dislikes, our yays and nays, where we agree or disagree on some topics. We got a dope debate. And of course, we're talking about that Batman caped Crusader. Is it an awesome spiritual successor to Batman the Animated Series, or did the ball get dropped all the way down the hill? I don't know. But first, gentlemen, how was your week? What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you playing? What is going on?
I saw Twisters.
Ooh.
Okay.
Is it as good as the originals?
No. And the whole thing can be done in a half hour, and it's great because new fear unlocked for Sebastian. Bonus. Nice. So we had a tornado here like a couple months ago that was really bad. It hit close, and then when he saw a bunch of people get die in a tornado, he put two and two together and was like, "Oh shoot!"
Well, so you didn't. So go ahead, Jack. I feel like you're gonna say the same thing.
I didn't really watch anything this week. I'm moving. I've moved, so I'm in the new location.
Connie, Alaska's in the house, and we're all in the house. Thank you for joining us, Connie. Go ahead, Jack.
So I haven't had much free time this week. Been very slammed, and between moving and work. But I watched Twister. I watched the original,
right?
And you know what it made me think of?
What?
Just how much Zack Snyder effed up. Can you imagine?
Oh my
Superman
God! How does he find a way to bash Snyder? Snyder didn't even make Twister, Rich. How did he do it?
I have no idea.
It made me think of Superman watching his father ripped to pieces in a damn tornado.
Yep, he just let him go like any good son should.
It ruined the movie for me. I couldn't finish it.
And that's where it started.
Because it made you think of.
It made you think of Zack Snyder. You could have seen the movie from like 1994.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now I did also watch the Rebel Moon Part 2 trailer.
I'm not going anywhere near that.
Wait, I wrote something down.
Director, you mean wait, Rebel Moon? You mean store brand Star Wars?
I mean the director's cut, which is releasing.
Right, but you said you just watched the trailer.
Well, the director's cut's not released yet.
It is.
It's out.
I watched part of it.
Did it release?
It released. It released what?
Oh
Thursday,
man, I wish I knew that. All right,
Thursday,
so I'm taking off work.
It is traumatizing for Clark, Connie. It definitely is. I don't know how I can be Superman.
All right, so I'm gonna take off work for the next 3 months so I can watch the movie once.
In slow motion.
In slow motion.
Listen, y'all can dog on Snyder all you want.
I'm not dogging on Snyder.
That's a lie. We were talking about Twister. We weren't even talking about Zack Snyder movies.
Well, Chris was talking about Twisters.
Twisters, Pearl, not one.
Twister.
You hijacked this whole house this week, Jack, because Zack Snyder got you that upset that you had to go on.
Wild.
Well, I guess I'm still traumatized. I'm traumatized by the idea that Superman will watch his father torn apart in a tornado.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we have to have that debate because remember we have somebody on here that was like he can argue that Man of Steel is the best Superman movie ever. It's good to be back, C23. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful Sunday.
And that was like months ago, Lawrence. I know you're like touch and go on the episodes now, but it's been some time.
Hey man, I'm just giving you a chance to get all your data together. You can't
Where'd
go on
you get
emotional.
That trash shirt. Is that Comic-Con shirt?
No, this.
Wow.
Did you really call this shirt trash?
What's going on with that
S? On that one.
Jack, are you aware of Kingdom Come?
Oh, right.
Chris, how was the rest of your week? Because you were telling us what you were watching.
No, that was it. I just worked a whole lot, and I got really deep into Legos.
All
right.
So I've always been a big Lego guy. And
Desiree's in the house. Hello,
what
Desiree.
What's up?
Deep into Legos, you say?
And I unlocked. I'll show I'll get into it more when we get into Collector's Corner because I spent a lot of money on Legos.
Okay. I'm here for a short while. Well, you're here for a good time, not a long time. But we'll guarantee
That's
it's
it.
a good
Are you
time.
still on vacation?
This Desiree? It's a great shirt. Thank you, Connie. I never listen to Jack's nonsense. Jack, how was the rest of you? Said you didn't really watch or do much. Oh, so you tried to watch Swiss or anything else this week?
Nope, that was my week.
That's this week. Rich, how was your week?
Wow. My week was just working because I love working for free. Well, not really for free, but I love doing jobs. More jobs than I get paid to do. The shop got flooded on Friday, which was fun.
You guys were on, I think I missed that. Desiree, they were on vacation. You headed back to Alaska.
The past 2 weeks. Him and ETC, her and ETC.
Yeah.
Where was vacation?
They were in.
Lawrence, you don't watch our episodes?
Northwest Lawrence, obviously.
I don't.
I know where they were.
I haven't caught up. I'm sorry, I'm behind.
Mother.
It was either this or read Old Man Logan. So
we know he's not doing that.
So you didn't either. Got it.
Yeah, I didn't either. Well, I miss you guys too. All right, so Rich, what's that? So you're working for free.
Wait.
What do you
Have we talked to you? Did you watch Wolverine Deadpool?
We did not talk, and I have not seen it yet.
What?
Oh.
Hunter Iggy's in the house. Hey, brother, shout out for the original Batman animated series and the new one. We're gonna definitely get into that.
We'll talk about it. Hold that thought, Hunter Iggy.
And Desiree, the reason why I didn't see Deadpool Wolverine because I was in New York working for the last 3 weeks, and I was also visiting family.
He was, and we got to see each other.
Rich came to set.
I got to see him work. I got to see how a movie got made. Now I enjoyed that.
For those who don't know, I'm an actor, and I was shooting a movie in New York, and Rich was able to come to set because we weren't shooting too far from where you live, and Newburgh.
Yeah.
And he got to see us outside wearing jackets in 90-degree weather with 100% humidity.
It was hot. Oh man.
Pop Johnson's in the house.
What's going on?
So, Rich, you're working for free.
Yeah. Well, I'm working, but I do more. I do more than what I get paid to do. But anyway, we got crazy rain on Friday. I'm talking. I was in the bathroom and I heard this pop and whooshing. I'm like, what is that?
And that wasn't for you.
And it wasn't
for me. It wasn't for me. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just continue my business. I go outside, go downstairs, and as I'm going downstairs, there's just water in the shop. I get down. It's like 2 to 3 inches of water now on the floor. I go into the office. There's water over there. On the other side of the shop, we got more water. We just got flooded out. Now I go look outside where the drainage was because our hill going into the shop, the driveway is like a little slanted. But we have drainage there. That drain wasn't doing anything. It was just going in and coming right back out. So, I did my best. I don't care. And said, hey, text my boss, send him a picture. I'm like, yeah, we're flooded out here. I'm going to go fix this one bus over here because it's not flooded. You guys get paid to figure that stuff out. Other than that, just gaming a little bit here and there when I have the energy, catching these dubs in Warzone. Did I mention I deleted Starfield? I did last show.
It's been it was a love-hate relationship with you in that game.
And I messed up because I was in the middle of making a video and I just got so frustrated I deleted it. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. Wow. It just stopped working on me.
You invested hours in that game.
Hours. I'm like, bro. So yeah, did that. And now I'm figuring out what it is that I need to play outside of
Cat Quest 2, Rich.
3, man. Cat Quest 3.
Shut up, Jack. All right. No, we're not playing Cat
4 more days, ladies and gentlemen. Ask me what I did next week.
Cat Quest 3. Oh, man. Well, I'm sorry.
I'm not done. I'm not done.
Oh, man, I thought you said you did that sound like you were closing. My bad.
I watched a few shows. Now you made me forget what shows I watched. Anyway, yes.
I can tell you what you watched, Rich.
What did I watch? I watched Zack Snyder's director's cut of Rebel Moon 2.
You managed to do that in a week?
I watched the first maybe like 20, 30 minutes of it. And it's like 2.5 hours.
Cat Quest.
The only upside I got out of that thing was the fact that I got a mediocre love scene. Is because this one is rated R.
Right. So the love scene was like 3 hours.
Slow motion.
It was the most mid love scene I've ever seen in my life. I was like, what is this? We didn't even need this at all. There was
a lot of snake goes in the guy's mouth.
I didn't get to that part yet. Don't. Anyway, there was a lot in there. It was just like, why? Like, first, no, let me not say why. Why didn't we get this the first time around? And why must we do this?
It's
again?
on Netflix. Like, what is the point of not putting your director's R cut?
Right.
It's not like you got to deal with the motion pictures situation. Throw it on Netflix. It's all on Netflix.
Yeah. So the whole time I'm just sitting there like, why? Why am I
More
like? Why
content.
are we
More
getting these scenes? Was
It's
that
more content. More
He's,
content.
he's milking it.
Is it better though?
What?
Hey man, I,
As of
I
right
don't
now?
appreciate the association there.
My bad, Jack. He's jacking it. Pause.
Yeah. As of right now, it's not better. It is not better. Yeah, it's just not better.
Shock, fade, surprise, clutch my pearls.
Clutch his pearls.
That's my
Bruce
weakness.
Wayne's mom's pearls.
We'll get into that, baby.
My weeks have been all right. I picked up a lot of stuff. I was shooting that movie and I got to run around with a gun and shoot
Hey.
and have fight scenes. Well, not really fight scenes. My stunt double kind of did most of the fight scenes. I wanted to jump into it, but I couldn't because of time. But it's going to be freaking dope. Got to be an action guy. And I picked up some stuff. So
What'd you
first up, this joint, it's The Death in the Family, Robin Lives. They came out with the comic of what if Jason Todd lived at the end of Death in the Family. It's
Didn't he actually live?
No, he died.
Who brought him back?
Well, Lazarus
That was like 20 years later they brought him back.
Him
So
and Bucky.
he stayed dead for a while. But this book is as if he lived after the Joker beat him up. And it's done in the art style of that time period. So it feels like if everybody called in and said, like, keep him alive, it'd be here. So that's pretty dope. Yo, Big Troy Collectibles is in the house. What's going on, Big Troy? Next up, Jack. I think you might appreciate this. I got since they're never gonna finish the freaking anime, I said let me just jump into the Berserk joint.
All right.
This is crazy. It was crazy. There's 14 of these. There's 14 of these.
Which one did you buy?
Volume 1. I gotta start at the beginning. Volume 1.
I ask because the arguably the most iconic volume is the Eclipse volume.
There's 3 mangas that make up this giant one.
That's
so I
right.
don't know exactly where that lands. But I figured let me start here and then maybe in 10 years I'll be ready for part 2 the way I'm going with comics.
Wait. Keep going. Talk amongst yourselves.
Why? Did I leave when he was sharing his week?
That's a surprise for you, Lawrence.
He's gonna grab his.
Something special to show you. What else you get?
Well, I want to wait till Jack because maybe I want him to see it because I want to pull it up, be really excited, and he's gonna make me go back to Berserk.
No,
he's gonna show me. He's gonna show me his custom made Berserk, and he mutilated all my action figures to make it. What, Jack? We can be best friends now. What volume is that? 1?
I got 1, and I got 5. 1 and 5.
Where did you get these? Barnes and Noble or Amazon?
Amazon, because they all went on fire sales.
Dude, Barnes and Noble did not. Buy it on Amazon, please.
How much did you pay?
This is like 55 ducats.
Nah, dog. It was like 15.
That was not $15.
You're right.
Like
it was
30
20.
bucks.
No,
30
it was 20.
Oh, damn.
22.
Damn.
And I've been looking at them for a year.
Why'd you get 1 and 5?
Because I'm thinking maybe eventually I'll get all of them. So I got 1, and I got 5 because that's the Eclipse episode.
That picks up after we left off in the anime.
No, that is the ending of the anime.
5 is the ending of the anime.
5's the Eclipse, yeah. 5's when it's manga 13 essentially, and the ones around 13. It's when everything goes to crazy.
Yeah,
crazy. I remember that. Yeah.
Shut up, Chris. You would actually love Berserk. And next up, what I got, there'll be an unboxing of this week. I got that Batman Nightfall pack with Bane. Batman got a wire cape. He's all battle damaged. You can actually create the epic.
That is so.
Look at this. Look at this.
I need to buy that now.
Look at this. Look at how battle damaged.
What is Bane wearing?
This is what Bane wears.
always
Yeah,
wears.
singlet.
Even I know
He's
that.
he's like a wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's based off of like a luchador. Jack,
Where have you?
do you read comics?
What?
Yeah, but his backstory is not that of a wrestler.
I don't actually remember exactly his whole backstory, but that's what he wore. It's exactly what
Yeah.
he wore.
Oh,
A
shit.
little singlet. A little singlet.
Uh,
A little singlet.
he's
Anyway,
They cover his nips, right? They just right over him.
well, if Todd McFarlane, he should have had the nip slightly exposed, just a little areola.
he
on
could
the
be like
side.
the
They
guy
probably put tape on it.
under their chest.
Just like, because you can move the
Everyone
straps
knows
on this
that.
thing. You guys are sick as hell.
So
All right.
He knew what he was doing. He's teasing.
Yo, it's time to get to our next segment. I love this segment because there is crowd participation in this segment. In this segment, we talk about how oftentimes the superhero movies, even sci-fi movies, they take liberties from the source material. Some work and some don't. So we're going to give you our honest opinion of what we think works by saying yay or nay. Everybody give a thumbs up for yay and a thumbs down for nay. I think you guys got it. All right. Let me go to my notes. I have a lot of notes. Bear with me. There's a lot going on this week. Okay. So, yay or nay? Batman killing in movies like the Burton films, like Batman v Superman. Yay or nay?
Nay.
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 Really,
easy.
Chris?
Yeah.
You love Burton. That's your favorite Batman
I
movies.
doesn't mean I have to love everything about Burton.
Oh, wow. Rich, yay or nay? Batman killing in movies.
Batman killing the movies. I mean, yeah, he's going to have to kill some people in the movies. Let me get a little closer.
Yay!
You know what this
Deadpool, that Deadpool arm. Chat, what do you think? Batman killing in movies, yay or nay?
I mean,
But
he's not killing them. He's absolutely like destroying them for the rest of their lives. Like there's
No, in Batman Returns, he definitely struck a bomb.
Oh
Yeah.
But the circuit blew him up.
I am yay not saving bad guys.
Geek Fusion TV's in the house, and he says, yay!
Geek Fusion, we got to talk about this.
So you
man.
were okay in Batman Begins, I don't have to save you.
He likes all these heroes killing people.
But
Yeah,
you're not okay with Batman driving his Batmobile through a bunch of goons in Batman v Superman.
Yeah. He's not gonna go because he's not gonna go just maul through a crowd. I'm definitely damn. I'm definitely
okay.
damn.
Next up, where am I? Okay, Peter Parker befriending a billionaire Tony Stark at the beginning of the superhero career and not having to struggle, as in the MCU movies, is a yay or a nay.
Nay, but it is a multiverse experience.
It wasn't when they started it. It wasn't when they started it.
Yeah.
Nay.
I'm yay.
You're yay?
Yeah,
we missed this. Peter Parker has too much technology in the beginning. We don't see him struggle and have to rely on his own intelligence. He just has billionaire Tony. It's like
Punisher's not Batman. Punisher's not Batman.
It's the responsible thing to do. Punisher does it the right way. Yeah. But I would say that's Batman's flaw. And which is always something that could be used against him, is that he won't go the extra mile, which really makes compelling story. Etc. So forth and so on is in the house.
I'm not going to be in the house for long, though.
No, but hey, he's here for a good time, not a long time. And Geek Fusion said nay to Peter Parker having all those resources at the beginning of his career.
I like
agree
Iron
with that.
Spider.
Yay or nay? It is amazing. It's a good thing. We all agree with Venom having a franchise without Spider-Man in it.
Yeah.
Nay! Double nay!
Double thumbs up.
All the nays.
All the
Venom.
nays.
Yeah, I don't care if Spider-Man's there. Give me the Venom content. You know how I feel about Venom.
Jack, yay or nay? Venom having...
I'm indifferent on that one. Sure, why not? What's the difference? I mean, Chris likes it enough for all of us. You know, he single-handedly contributed to most of their ticket sales.
He did by himself. Yo,
Wait,
last yay or nay? And Batman v Superman, Gotham and Metropolis being sister cities. Yay.
Nay, I've
Or
never
nay.
liked.
Nay. Because
Also,
Superman would just take care of Gotham if he was that
I don't like
close.
Exactly,
Smallville
yeah.
being across the pond from Metropolis either.
Yeah, we're just across
Hang
the
on,
bay.
Dad.
Yeah, it's across the Hudson River, like Jersey to
Yeah.
New York. Yeah, I don't think Spider-Man would fit in that series.
In the Venom series.
In the Venom. Well, I mean,
He should.
He should.
You
He
should.
should.
Yeah.
Geek Fusion, nay. I love those movies, but they'd be better. Absolutely,
Geek
they'd be
Fusion,
better with
I love those
Spider-Man.
movies too.
They'd be better with Spider.
Wow.
All right, I'm so glad I figured out your guys' yay or nay. We're gonna end this segment by driving down the street, flying past a stop sign. We're gonna get to a huge door that says, "Show me your goods." 'Cause we're at the collector's corner.
It's show and tell time.
Here at the collector's corner, we take something off our toy shelves, something out of our comic book case, something out of our video game unit. We showcase it to the
I'll
world.
show you my unit.
Ah! It could be worth millions of dollars, or in Chris's case, just sentimental.
Negro, you haven't been here for weeks, and that's what you take the chance to
I still know you're probably going to show us something you made at home, Chris. Wow.
Right. You know what? For that, let me go first.
And I love it. I love what you got. There's no hate to that.
So long story short, I had a meeting in a downtown Denton by me. They have a Lego store called Minifigs. So one of my favorite sets was the Imperial Training Post that I had as a kid. They had it. It's worth stupid money now if you were trying to rebuy it now. So then I went onto Lego.com and I realized Lego has a line for adults only, baby, 18 plus.
Oh,
Okay.
So what they have is they have a lot of designs that are in the spirit of those lines that you can buy. And this is what I copped.
Yo.
Okay. Yeah.
Eldorado Fortress.
How much does that cost, Chris?
Why is this 18 plus?
It depends if Viv is watching or not.
Oh, shit.
But you know it's cool that this is actually it's built exactly like we had when we were kids. But
Yeah.
you see right here where it says 18 years and up. It's
Why is
It's intense.
why? Because you're gonna choke on the pieces.
No, you know what it is? They took the designs from the 90s that we loved, that we had as kids, and they just made
it more detailed and more
yeah,
pieces
exactly.
and-
But why is that 18 plus? What's
because
the
it probably costs like $100, Jack.
What's the
I
difference?
wish
Doesn't make a
it
difference.
cost $100.
Oh.
Viv, he's joking.
Oh.
Wait, what?
That's
I
it.
don't understand why the age jump.
No, they have a line just for adults.
It's
So
more
what they
difficult,
did,
right?
It's like a retro line based on the lines from the 80s and 90s, and
Yeah.
they came out with that. Yeah,
But it doesn't make sense because if I was building those at like 10 at 80 in the 80s and 90s or whatever and 15,
Right? It's not like the mermaid showing her boobs.
right?
It's
Like
so
why is it?
Lego
No,
18?
but the difficulty level in this is different than the one in the 80s and
not
90s.
not
No,
much
it's
different.
not.
No,
Then
that's
what's the
not-
point? Okay, now if it's
No,
not more
it's
difficult,
not.
then I
What
don't
is the
understand.
adult rating on it? That's what I want to know. Why is it adult?
Why?
Listen,
make-
I went to my
Yeah.
neighbor's house. The kid's 10, and his Lego thing is, I mean, oh my god, dude. So
I had
where's
a
the adult
galleon-
part of it?
I had a galleon pirate ship that was bigger than the one that's in that box, and
Right.
I built that at like
Right.
12.
So
Do the flags say "F-U" or something on it?
you guys are missing the point.
There's
Yeah.
no point to this though. That's the
It's
thing.
geared, no, it's the adult
Yay or
line
nay, Rich?
is geared. No, the adult. listen. The adult line is geared for us. So they just took stuff from our childhood and
And then
remade
made it more expensive.
No,
so
no,
that-
I get it being a nostalgia line, but why is it 18 and up?
That's what I want to know.
If it's not more pieces, but if
Because
it's
it's
not more
bigger?
pieces, is it
It is
bigger?
it is a little bit more complicated. It is not much more complicated, but it is.
I mean,
That's a cash grab, but we're
that's
happy
a
you
cat.
got it.
Yeah, that ain't man. They
I'm
got
happy.
you.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Anyone who has anxiety or anything, Lego therapy is real. For real.
Absolutely, but you can buy Legos at any age. So wait. If you walked into a store and bought that and you were 9, would they turn you away or ask for ID?
Probably not. It's like silly geek. Legos are for kids. I don't know, Jack. What did we tell you? All I know is I saw this look like the Imperial Trading Post and brought back mad memories and touched me in this very special.
Does some of the Lego characters not have pants on?
I mean,
Geek Fusion TV says he got an exclusive Death's Head at San Diego Comic-Con. It's the only new purchase this week. Well, if you're going to have a purchase, I think that's a freaking dope purchase. Connie thinks that's very cool, Chris. She thinks what she bought is very cool.
Oh, right.
Desiree, cool, etc. Desiree says you'll have a blast building that, Chris.
I'm already there. This box is empty, Desiree.
Ooh, baby. I love when your box is empty. Pause. Wife still has a set, the Black Seas Barracuda. The old one has a proper boat. Oh, wow.
Proper boat.
Heads. Yeah. Nice. Well done, Chris. I'm sorry you got viciously attacked.
It made no sense. They got him. It's an 18 and older adult set. Oh, we're going to get these suckers.
I was like, is it Eyes Wide Shut? What's going on here?
Anything's eyes wide shut if you try hard enough, Jack. If you take enough clothes off and try hard enough, anything can be eyes wide shut.
Jack, what do you got?
Well, I was going to show, I got these Berserk volumes this week.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, look, you just bought them this week?
I guess I got them last week, but I pretty much packed them the second I got them. But since we're talking Batman, I'll show this instead. I think you've seen it before, but since it's sitting right here and I've just unpacked, you can see it again.
Yeah.
That is dope.
Very cool.
This is one we got from the DC comic trip. This is Batman 587.
That's sick. I don't think it's McFarlane, but it's in that McFarlane style art design.
Yeah, it's not
from the
McFarlane.
90s.
It's
that's when we hit the horns on the shoulders.
Right.
And then its sister piece, its companion piece, is this guy, which I started coloring.
Okay.
Couldn't help myself.
You're right. There's no reason for it to say 18 and up. I mean, maybe Chris can tell us.
Right.
After his experience. Well done, Jack.
Thanks.
Good stuff.
And that's my week.
Oh, hey.
Wait, why does Rich look so cinematic?
I don't know. Because we know what Rich does in his downtime. That's why.
So you ain't got to worry about that.
Richard Wilson's at OnlyFans.
In my quest to not spend a lot of money, I'm finding deals out here, and I already showed you one last week, and I'm gonna show you another one. Little cup of Cade from Destiny. Why am I even talking like y'all know about this? Anyway, this is one of my favorite characters from Destiny, in a cup from Cade 6.
I know Cade from Destiny.
No, you don't.
Rich.
Shut up. Anyway, this is my coffee cup. Now, this is going to be my brand new coffee cup. So when you see me drinking coffee over here, it's going to be out of this cup.
Yeah, he got that soft effects filter. This is looking very cinematic.
First of all, y'all not even looking at what I brought here. You looking at my camera still?
I'm looking at the Cade from Destiny cup.
Yeah.
Let me see it again.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like a robot Leonardo.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, he looked weird. He looks weird in cup form, but yeah, he's pretty much an
Turn around.
He looks weird in cup form. But you know what?
He doesn't translate the cup form.
He does not. But listen, this guy was like, it was like $7. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Have you drank out of that cup yet?
No, not yet. I just got it.
Drinking out of cups.
Yeah. Well, C23 thinks that's freaking cool. I think it's cool. I think it's great.
Thank you.
C23 thinks it's cool. I think it's cool too, Rich.
I love Cade from Destiny.
Shut up.
Right.
Shut up. All right.
Hold on. I think, etc. So I think we all like looking at Chris's can. I love looking at Chris's can.
Hey.
Look at your gorgeous eyes, Rich. They're quite distracting. What did you get? He missed your whole thing. He was distracted.
Hey, listen, just keep looking at me, baby.
And Chris's wife is watching. Chris, I just saw our amazing bill for your Lego set. $220. Viv, if it makes you feel any better, it's an adult-only collector's item.
Adults, 18 and over.
It's gotta be so. Okay, I'm next. Okay, yo, I've already done an unboxing for this. So I'll start up with, I got my Morgan Freeman action figure.
Okay, yeah.
Lucius Fox.
That's pretty cool.
Right?
Is that? I mean, the likeness is freaking.
No, it's good.
It's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
McFarlane hit, and he used the same body as this Joker.
No.
Is this an original sculpt?
Yeah.
Might
Huh?
be. Yeah.
And I feel like he
Same
grabbed
body.
it from somewhere.
That
Good
happened in
body.
real time, ladies and gentlemen.
Good body. And which means, well, no, I didn't care about the Morgan Freeman figure, Jack. I bought it to get this beast.
Oh
right?
my goodness!
Here. Yo, first of all, look how big this is.
That's what she said.
And it's heavy. Wow.
It's got some weight to it. And as you guys know, it's a 2-seater. 2 can fit in, Chris.
But only one's coming out.
Yeah.
You're sick, Chris. You're sick. Nah, this is dope. It is so dope to have in the collection. Like, these wheels are rubber. I mean, it's dope. And both Batman and Lucius can fit in it. I put it on the shelf, so I got my 66, my 89, and then right down there is where the tumbler goes. Nice. So yo, and for the price point, I mean,
80 beads, right?
Yeah, I think it was 70, 80 bucks. It was under $100. And for the price point, I don't think you can go wrong.
Now, is that 18 plus or all ages?
I think this might be 14 and up. This might be 14.
You're just mad for playing with age-appropriate toys.
Right. That's what it is. Fans want to know where you got your shirt, Lawrence.
No fans asked me about that. But I don't know. I don't know. I went online and I just found a t-shirt shop, and I thought this would be cool to be rocking a James Gunn Superman shirt before they're even out.
Can you get a Bizarro version so it's facing the right way during the show?
You just got to see me in person. You got to do a meetup if you want to see it the right way.
Oh, you're
Chris,
home, huh?
Yeah. Got home on Friday. Chris, the cup is cool. Just don't bring 2 girls in the room.
Hey, yo. It was nice doing the show, boys.
Yo. Well, that is it with the Collector's Corner. Now, guys, I decided to resurrect this segment because I don't know about you, but I like going in the alley. I like going in a dark, moist alley where anything can happen.
Wait. When was the
Anime Alley with Lawrence St. Victor?
What did you say, Chris?
When was the alley ever moist? It was always dark. It was always dangerous.
No, it was dank. It was a little dank. It was a little humid in the alley.
You can't have dank without moisture.
Yeah. Basically, so I just want to talk about anime really quick. I want to talk about what I'm watching, what I'm excited about. Richmond, you can jump in if you feel so inclined. No pressure. So I think I told Jack last time I was making my way through Chainsaw Man again, and it is amazing. I'm watching the dubbed version this time. It's a different show dubbed.
Okay.
The actor plays it completely different than the Japanese actor, and it's not better or worse. It's actually kind of cool. It's like you're getting a different interpretation of it. He has more angst. And the Japanese one felt more innocent and childlike. This one feels a little bit more angsty. So that's pretty dope. Hold on. Etc. says, having this Batman sit too just makes me upset that it didn't make... Well, the thing... Okay, so
yeah,
I agree with you.
Stevens actually does sit too. Robin sits on top of Batman.
I'm shaking my head. Etc. I agree with you. The thing about the Tumbler is that it's just a wider vehicle. So they can make it a 2-seater without it being too big.
Which is out.
But the 89 one to make a 2-seater would have been like ridiculous.
Wide is all outside.
Yeah, it would have been girthy, baby. And Connie says this sounds concerning. It is always concerning. So Chainsaw Man dubbed is pretty freaking dope. While I was on set shooting, like, it was really cool to see all these like anime fans that wouldn't really show themselves until they overhear you talking about anime. So I like talk about anime with a bunch of different people, and everybody's recommending an older anime that I started, which is Neo Genesis, the Evangeline joint.
Oh yeah,
it's like everyone's like top 3 anime, and
it gets a little weird, but yeah.
They
kind of all get a little weird.
Yeah. So I'm jumping into that, and I'm on episode 2 so far, and it's pretty freaking dope. I'm into it. We'll see what's going on.
All
I
right.
have been watching Kaiju number 8. I'm not caught up, so I don't know where we are, but that's a dope anime as well. And the dubbed version just dropped in episode, I think, episode 1. And there's this new anime coming out, which I'm interested in only because the title sounds ridiculous. It's called I May Be a Guild Receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to clock out on time.
Bro. That's like 90% of anime titles, bro.
It is, but it's the actual. The titles are really funny.
Yeah.
And this is the artwork. You can see it.
Okay.
It's pretty dope. So
I'll have
I
to
might
check
check
that
that out just because the name sounds so bizarre. And that's kind of it on my anime front. There's a lot. There was, I think, an expo that happened sometime in Japan recently. So there's a lot of like really cool anime dropping.
Do
I don't
you
know.
read manga, Lawrence, or you just watch it?
I just watch it. This is going to be my first like true read of manga.
A friend just put me on. We talked about it last episode. It's called Manga Life, and it's a website that has. I wouldn't be surprised if it has literally every manga that's been made, and it's current. And you can put it on long form, and you just scroll through the thing. So, like, I'm putting it on my computer monitor now. So, like, when I got the Berserk, I got the Berserk the week before I started checking out Manga Life. And I was like, yo, it's so awesome to see these pictures blown up and huge. It's even cooler to see them the size of whatever screen you're on and just scroll through the whole thing.
That's dope. I'll check this. So it's like a Comixology manga.
Which one?
Like Comixology, like the digital comics.
Exactly.
And,
yeah. That's exactly what it is. And the image quality is crystal clear.
Okay. I'll check it. I was kind of like not with manga because some of my favorite animes that are manga are black and white. And like I didn't like Berserk. I'm like, how can you read it without seeing the blood? But I'm sure
you feel it, man. You feel the blood.
You'll feel the feels. You'll feel the feels.
Feels
But that's all I got for
Anime Alley.
Anime Alley. Rich, wait, Rich.
What?
Are you coming?
I finished up. Well, I finished up
bro.
Undead Unluck.
Season 1?
Yes, season 1. It's they did the. I started out in subtitles and then they put out the whole dub because I wasn't keeping up with it in current. I was watching stuff like Kaiju number 8 and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I finished it up in the dub form. And I'm like, yo, this is it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
I watched the first episode.
Yeah, it's one of those quirky animes that get serious at times. And then Go Loser Ranger, they also put out a dub.
That I was watching it and I liked it. I didn't like it enough to read.
Yeah.
I didn't like it enough to like not ever glance at my phone.
I think I kept up with it up until like episode 3, and then I started looking at other stuff. And then when I saw the dub, I was like, let me get back into it because now I'm just going to hear him talk. But yeah, it gets a little serious at the end of it. I mean, it pretty much follows one of the minions, one of the monster minions, like a putty. Like
Chris, you might like this. It's pretty much a putty patroller who infiltrates the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Because premise is, spoiler alert, the Power Rangers defeat the evil bad. But to keep the whole city like behind them and supporting them and loving them, they make the putty patrollers shapeshift as monsters so they can beat them. So everyone cheers. So it's all just fake.
Yes.
And there's one putty patroller who's a disgruntled worker who's like, I'm tired of this crap. I'm about to go to the Ranger Academy and infiltrate them from the inside.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a little bit more of a spoiler. There is a boss because there used to be bosses all over the place that they had to fight.
Right.
But there is a boss has popped up, but he's kind of like covert with it and he's like destroying things. So it's getting interesting.
I'll jump back in with the dubbed. Okay. That's for sure. Anything else you got for Anime Alley, Rich?
That's it. The rest is everything I've been watching have gone off for like mid-seasons and whatnot. So yeah, I'm still waiting.
All right.
I do need to catch up on a lot of stuff that I have saved though.
Me too. I have the what is it? The Beast and the Witch was dope. I gotta jump back into that. That's sick. All right. Yo, we're getting to a new favorite segment. I love this segment. We are gonna go with agree or disagree.
Agree or disagree.
And agree or disagree, I'm going to name a few things, and we're going to say whether we agree or disagree on it. This is really
It's a
fun.
nice logo graphic you got there. Where'd you find that?
Stole it from Google.
Awesome, Google.
If it's on Google, it's not stealing. It's
there you go. That's what I think. And in the chat, please chime in whether you agree or disagree. And if you're not in the chat and you're watching this later in the comments section, do the same thing too. We respond to our comments. First up, agree, and we're going to hold up our index cards, or in Chris's case, a Batman for agree and a Joker for disagree. All right. Robert Downey Jr. cast as Dr. Doom is an excellent choice. Disagree. Disagree. Maybe I'll change my mind once the movie comes out, but I'm sorry, Chris. I disagree. I feel like to see Dr. Doom be a variant, and C23 agrees.
Is it supposed to be a variant though?
No, it's not. We don't know. You're jumping to conclusions,
dude. If it's not a variant, it's even worse.
I agree with that.
Cast an actor to play the same part.
Doom's face is so messed up that he can be a totally different person, totally different character.
Bro,
we won't recognize RDJ.
Bro,
if we're going
to incredibly intelligent billionaire in a metal suit.
I will partially agree with you if we just get him with his messed up face. But if we get him before the messed up face,
we can't get him before the messed up face.
No, this is terrible. This isn't like Ryan Reynolds, who played Green Lantern, playing Deadpool. This is still the same universe. It's not like he's acting in the same franchise as a different character. Come on, dude. That to me, if he's not a variant, that's even worse. If he is a variant, then I'm going. The multiverse means there's no stakes to this thing, and we got Fantastic Four coming out, and you're telling me the first time we're going to see Doctor Doom is not even going to be like the Doctor Doom. And if this is the Doctor Doom is just a variant of Tony Stark, which means none of this stuff matters. That means there's going to be another variant of Tony Stark out there somewhere, which means his Thanos snap didn't even matter. That's the best death in the entire superhero movie, maybe even like supernatural sci-fi lore. And they threw it away because Jonathan Majors, they got rid of Kang and they needed somebody.
Jonathan Majors.
Oh my gosh. That is why RDJ did the sympathizer. He can play. No, he can play. He's a great choice for Dr. Doom if he wasn't already Tony Stark in this exact franchise.
Right.
I'm sorry, Chris. I can't.
It's a safe bet, and it's a safe bankable cash bet is what's going on.
Yeah. But I think it appears that way. But then it's like, it's too obvious. It's one of those things that makes us not take it seriously. Big Troy Collectible says, wish we kept Kang. If we're talking about variants, we could have had Kang without it being Jonathan Majors.
Right. You could have had Robert Downey Jr.'s Kang variant.
You could have had
I bet you they thought about it. Next up, X-Men 97 is the best superhero animated show ever made.
Ever made?
Ever made.
It's the best one within 20 years.
I'm glad they scrapped. Yeah.
Can we say in modern era?
No. Well, you can compare it to the 60s, the Super Friends. This is better than Super Friends.
No, it's better than Super Friends.
But you know it's not dethroning though.
Well, I'm not no caveats. Agree or disagree?
Disagree. Hard disagree. That was
hard agree.
You say it's better than Batman the Animated Series?
X-Men 97 is definitely better than Batman the Animated Series.
How do I
I like it.
Bro, you're wearing mad nostalgia, but X-Men 97 compelled adults to watch cartoons. I know you was a kid watching Fox Kids back in the day. Batman the Animated Series is great, but X-Men 97 was freaking cinema, bro. Like Gambit got kid. Batman no, Chris, I'm sorry. It's not. It beats Batman the Animated Series.
No freaking way. No
Absolutely.
way. Nope.
Give me a reason without it.
Wait. Does Thundercats count as superhero content or just content?
If you wanted to, and if you're gonna say,
what about Darkwing Duck?
All right,
Let's
Jack.
get
Now you're just doing the off the rails thing.
Well, I mean, there's so many here.
There are.
I mean, I want to agree though. Can I agree that it's probably definitely easily in the top?
I need you to make it. I need you to be a man, Jack, in front of the world to make a decision and stop being wishy-washy.
It was definitely one of the top two. Well, now
Oh,
Blue Eye
geez.
is not a superhero.
It's not superhero.
It's
Right.
pretty
But
simple.
It's still
pretty,
animated.
It's a pretty simple segment. You either agree or you disagree.
So polarizing.
It's one
Can we
choice
get
or
like
the other.
a
Show us
third
show
choice?
us you can make a choice, Jack. Show us you can make a decision. Show us you can make while Jack's contemplating Rich, agree or disagree.
Come on, Rich.
I
do
didn't
it.
because I
And
didn't like it.
C23
I didn't like it all.
agree.
I'm gonna say disagree because I didn't like it all the way through.
Well, what's better than it?
There was some wasted episode.
Was-
Half
well,
the
yeah, there
episode
was-
was wasted.
Yeah.
What cartoons came out
Oh.
that didn't have wasted episodes?
Right.
Well, they
agree
had
with
they
that.
had more. They had more.
No,
episodes.
yeah. When he was freaking lost his memory in the junkyard, I'm sure we needed that episode.
That episode was dope. Maybe
That
I'll wake up
episode
and be a
was
billionaire too.
The
No,
who?
That's stupid. Jack, just disagree and move on, brother. I know. I agree.
All right,
X-Men
there's
97
no way
was
it's
cinema.
Number one, I got to think about it. Disagree for now.
I think at the time, cartoons are only getting better and better when it comes to storytelling. So anything in the 80s and 90s is not.
I don't
gonna
know.
be
Did you
better
watch the Cape Crusader? I guess we're gonna get into that.
Well, that's why I said X-Men 97. You guys.
Oh,
are
I
crazy.
agree. That slapped.
Steel is a better movie than Madam Web. Shaquille O'Neal's Steel is a better movie than Madam Web.
I'm always going to
Jack,
go
I
black
can't
on
even
that.
see yours.
It's blue is agree, and
Oh.
this cleaning rag is disagree.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought you
to
knew
know.
the game.
I thought you
I
knew.
don't care.
I disagree. I think you guys forget how bad Steel was.
Listen.
With Ray
Yeah,
J.
At least we got
Did Madam
Steel
Web
in
have
the suit
a-
actually
Steel.
fighting crime.
That's the suit? That's the
We
suit?
got him in a suit fighting crime.
You took a character that needs to have Superman in it, took him, put him in the hood, gave him Ray J.
So it's kind of like Venom.
at least
No,
at
it's
least-
not.
at
Characters
least
that
the
need-
mouth match to the words.
At least, and at least we like the character instead of an irresponsible young adult who like endangered children.
You like the Steel character. He's a freaking scientist and goes to a junkyard and y'all
Sorry.
nostalgia wins here.
Yep.
Nostalgia wins. You guys are nuts.
Always been on
Steel's
black.
Steel was atrocious. Yeah. Steel was
But the
great.
toy-
Shaq was enough. Shaq. Y'all are crazy.
How about the toy line though?
Did it have a toy line?
Yes.
Okay.
Did it have a toy line?
Storyline was
Man.
dope.
It was not dope.
And
It
you
was,
can
a lot
take
of,
the
it was,
armor
it was
off
a
of
lot of things, Chris, but it was not dope.
It was
Why
classic
would I pick up
90s
a Steel
toys.
toy? Because when I was at Jack's house, Jack gave me a bunch of Steel toys and
From the
they're
movie.
all- yes,
From the movie.
And they
they're
were dope.
awesome because the armor comes on and off.
So I got to
Yeah.
do the when you over.
Did the
have a toy that
costume
can
come
take his
on and
clothes
off of the Madam Web characters?
Okay,
No, they
moving
didn't.
They didn't have
on.
costumes. They had costumes in a flashback or the memory.
Yeah, they didn't even have costumes. That's a good point. There were no costumes.
I think you guys forget how bad Steel was.
No,
Maybe
I don't think you watched Madam Web.
I didn't.
Okay, then.
I just in my mind, there's nothing that can be worse than Steel. Next, all right, agree or disagree? Meteor Man is the most underrated superhero movie of all time. Jack, I forgot what your colors mean.
I'm sorry, I was.
What does that mean, Jack?
What about Blank Man? Now
Jack,
that
stay on
is
track.
underrated.
Stay on track, Jack.
Right.
What does
I
that
disagree.
mean?
Disagree.
Disagree.
Actually, I agree.
You're nuts. You
Meteor
just trying
Man
to be
is
contrary.
mad. That's you. Meteor
Oh,
Man
you're right.
is mad underrated.
Did you say
Underrated?
He-Man?
Most underrated? The most underrated?
What's more underrated than Meteor Man?
Constantine?
Oh yeah.
No, but still,
You said-
but Constantine still got a second. He has love now. That movie is a cult following. Meteor Man still gets no love.
Because it's not underrated. It was rated appropriately.
No,
It's
Meteor Man was so it hits, man.
Yeah.
Etc. agrees. Connie disagrees. Rich, what did you put up an agree,
I
Rich,
put
at
I put
first?
agreed.
Yo, Meteor Man actually hit in the
Yeah.
90s.
I didn't
It
think
kinda
Meteor Man
hit.
was bad. I didn't think Meteor Man was bad. And it was good for us black folk. But it's not the most
Howard the
underrated.
Duck did not age well. at all. She slept with the duck.
She did sleep with
Quack quack, baby.
Quack quack, baby. Wow, Chris, I can't believe we're so
What, you
off
can't-
here. I
Yeah.
feel like
It's crazy.
I don't know, it doesn't feel right. I feel
I
like
don't
we share enough of the same DNA. We should agree a little bit
Enough
more.
of the same childhood, Lawrence.
I don't know where you know. You over here because Chris, your nostalgia glasses, Batman '89 and Batman the Animated Series to you cannot be criticized.
It could be criticized, but what bad do you have to say about Batman the Animated Series?
How are we talking about Batman? I thought we were talking about Howard the
Because
Duck.
we're still talking about Jack. It's off the rails. Batman Animated Series is not a better cartoon than X-Men
Yes,
'97.
it is. Yes, it
How
is.
so? How, Craig?
Rich,
And
how was
for
your
how many seasons? We only have one season of X-Men the Animated Series to judge it, so it's not even appropriate to judge it. And in that one
season one for season one.
Okay, take season one for season one.
Batman the Anime Series was a great, like, Law and Order, solve a case every episode. The character never changes, nothing ever evolves.
Man, I wish I had popcorn right now.
Jack, this is why people are here to watch us debate about superhero stuff.
Go,
Stop
I'm
derailing our segments.
I'm enjoying
Stop
it.
derailing or derail it, Jack.
Does this happen when I'm not here?
Oh,
Chris,
actually,
huh? So yeah, Batman's a great Law and Order case of the week like show. Like you can
Look,
miss a few, it doesn't matter. X-Men '97 was cinema.
Yeah, you're saying Batman Animated Series is a cinema? You had an
No.
actual orchestra that was
No.
doing that.
That stuff was great, but the storytelling was a freak of the week. He stops every bad guy every episode. Batman's character does not evolve in 40
It's called
years.
procedural.
It's a procedural,
He
which
don't
is
need to
great,
evolve.
like Law and Order.
he needs to
But
just fight the
X-Men
bad guy.
'97 was
Stop
like
the bad guy.
Sopranos. You watching the
But-
characters evolve as the episodes go on.
But I don't think that's a measurement of how good it is. There's a lot of stuff that we don't watch that where the characters evolve and they're terrible shows.
Absolutely. When we talk about the best shows ever made, they're Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, things that have an arc that evolves. We don't talk about Law and Order and The Good Doctor's the best shows ever made.
The Good Doctor. Who's talking about the Good Doctor?
Or ER. They don't talk about procedurals. We talk about watching characters grow. Procedurals. Batman changed action animation, the voice. No, you're right. Batman changed the game. That doesn't mean it can't be superseded. It does not
Batman
mean it can't be.
changed not only Batman changed
Justice
everything.
League was great, but I'm saying X-Men '97 was like straight up a long movie. Characters died. The stakes were high.
Was amazing, but it doesn't beat Batman the Animated Series. It just doesn't.
But you're not.
If you were to give me a choice, Chris, you have to watch the one season of Batman or one season of X-Men for the rest of your life. I'm thinking Batman.
Well, yeah, but sell me on why I'm
She
wrong
said,
without
well,
using
yeah,
emotions.
Yeah, but yeah,
Sell me on why, like, objectively speaking. Sell me why it's better objectively, without
Because I like-
emotions, without
because I
like how
liked-
you feel.
Because I liked it more.
Oh,
Because it
gosh.
affected my. It had a
Because you'd be
lasting
in
effect
jail.
on my life 30 years later.
I know, but if you're talking to someone who can't be in your feelings and you have to objectively say why this is better,
Kevin Conroy.
explain it.
Yeah, it has better voice acting. It did so much for animation. It changed the game. Period.
So Batman
But-
'89 changed the game. It's not better than The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Superman 1978 changed the game. It's not better than. It's not better than The Dark Knight. Nothing's better than The Dark Knight.
Look, I love X-Men.
I'm not dying on this hill, Corey.
He can die on it, but I mean, when he comes back to it, when you're asked if you have to be sick, if you have to be stuck with one season of each, what are you picking? You're picking Batman.
Is
I'm saying
Darkwing
which
Duck
is
still not
better.
on the?
All right, we're gonna get out of this
Watch it,
segment
watch
because
it.
Jack can't stay focused. All right, it's time for some news.
It's time for the news.
All right, so first up, let me get to my trusty news. Yo,
He's doing it
There's
live.
been a lot of news,
What's happening?
but there's been some news this week. Of course, you guys went over all the Comic-Con stuff last week real quick. Chris, you got Lawrence studying over the words like Porky. I ain't stuttering. I ain't stuttering. I'm saying, can you tell someone objectively? Either would suck. One season forever. I know Chris is tripping.
I put it. I just put it in terms that you can't argue with. That's it.
I did argue it.
But you said you would watch Batman. If you had one,
I didn't say. I didn't say an answer.
You said
So we're
Batman.
using news to go back to that segment. Which
Do
was
I
actually
like?
two
Do
segments
I
ago.
like the boys better than I like
The girls?
Do I like the boy? What's that show with John Hamm?
Mad Men.
Do I like the boys better than Mad Men? Yes. Can I objectively say Mad Men's probably a better series? I can objectively say the Mad Men's probably a better series than the boys.
You asked me that. I think I like.
I said
Mad Men
objectively
better than the boys, and I think Mad Men's a better series than the boys objectively.
Right, but objectively, you have to explain objectively. You can't say because I feel like it. That's not objective.
But
that's the opposite of objective.
That's exactly what your opinion is, though. Your opinion is what do you like
don't
more?
Matter. You can't say that.
Yeah, your opinion is what do you like more?
When I say objectively explain it, you have to explain it to someone so they can objectively hear the points. Why do you like this better? The orchestra, the voice acting, the storyline's compelling. The way they use the characters, the way they devour, like you can explain it objectively why you like it more than just I like it.
Lawrence, Chris is literally wearing a Batman shirt right now. You're not gonna win this.
I know.
So weak.
I know.
That's Rogers.
Where this whole thing changed.
She-Hulk or Moon Girl?
Girl, yeah, Corey. Any chance to bring up She-Hulk, Corey?
No, any chance to bring up Moon Girl? He was on that Moon Girl last time.
Third week in a row.
Both of them.
She-Hulk.
Okay. How do I? This thing changed.
It's time for the news.
What are you looking for?
Share my screen, but like it changed.
Right there at the bottom.
No, it's at the bottom. Share my
No,
screen.
I did. I've been in this whole time. That's why I've been stalling.
Whoa.
That's why I've been stalling. Okay.
You shared the whole screen.
I did.
Yeah.
You're gonna see what I'm looking
Careful.
at in a
This
second.
is the behind the wizards.
What's happening going on?
I'm gonna come.
What's that right there?
What is this?
Close these tabs.
No, I don't got nothing crazy.
You know, I feel like we're seeing too much.
I think you're seeing too much. Hold on. Share my
Describe in
screen.
detail what you're looking at.
Here we go.
Pretend we're seeing your screen.
Here we go. Okay, so first up, part of the news, Tom Cruise is going to do like a freaking free fall skydive for the Olympics in real life. He's going to end the Olympics by like jumping out of a plane. Why? I don't know. Why?
The same way Nick Cage is the cagiest, Tom Cruise is the cruisiest. That's what
He really is, and I kind of admire that. But dang, this is kind of crazy. I'll watch it though. I'll definitely watch it. Next up, we have Squid Games, right?
All right.
So we have Squid Games,
That's the thing.
and they are. Why is it
Tom
not
Cruise-
sharing what I'm looking
Tom
at?
Cruise is going to
here?
play every character in
Yeah,
Squid
close that and reshare. Or
Close
move
it.
that into the window you're looking at.
What?
When you put Tom Cruise on the screen, we lost like half of our viewers.
Yeah.
He did.
You ran them off, Lawrence.
I didn't run him off. You'll get him back. Don't worry. How do I? Chris, help me out here. This worked last time wonderfully. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, keep hitting them, Rich.
Here we go. All right. Anyway, forget about sharing the screen. So Squid Games is gonna. Is set for
You
December.
got to turn off your screen. No, it's up.
Hold on.
What the hell?
Oh, that was great.
What the heck is going
All
on?
right, man, you gotta do the news more often.
Listen. My news items hit.
He's
You
back.
see what I'm looking at now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see it all. We see
You
it all.
see what I'm looking at now?
Squid Games.
Squid
See,
Games. So
We're getting a season 2.
you're getting a season 2, and it's going to premiere. It's going to premiere December 26th, and season 3 will be its last.
Did you say
season.
26?
December 26th.
Oh my
It's going to
God.
premiere.
2 years from now.
Okay.
December 26th.
Oh, December 20. Okay.
Oh, I thought you meant
2024.
2026.
That would have been.
December of 26.
No.
You heard what I heard, Rich.
Yeah, I heard.
You heard
Yeah.
what I heard.
I was like, that's a long time.
It's December 26th. It's set to premiere
of 2024. Got it.
of this year.
Yes, there you go.
But it
The
will
day
end
after
after 3
Christmas.
seasons. The day after Christmas. But it will
All right.
end after 3 seasons. Jonathan Majors says he's heartbroken that Robert Downey Jr. is replacing his Kang because that's exactly what's going on.
Oh.
They announced a few years ago that every Avengers is going to be like Kang Dynasty. Kang was set up to be the big bad, and they wiped that slate clean with Robert Downey Jr., which is
Well,
kind
you know
of
what it
interesting.
reminds me of? Or you live long enough to see your heroes become villains.
I mean, you just gotta focus on building your rep back and trying to come back because he's a talented actor, and
Yeah.
you know what happened, and he got to figure out. You know, don't dwell on the past. Just focus on bringing yourself back.
Right. But the other side of it, without Jonathan Majors, is we spent the last phase and a half building up a big bad for nothing. Like
His face was trash, though, Lawrence. Who cares? His face was trash. I'm just fine forgetting about this face. You tell me Ant-Man, Quantumania. Yeah.
Oh, his face. I thought you meant his face is trash. Like,
oh no, his face is just fine.
His face card did not decline. Majors should work on being a better person versus playing the boo-boo-hoo victim game. I will not say anything about that. What I will say is that we set up a universe where Kang can have any face, so they could have still kept the plan.
They could have kept Kang. I mean, they were stepping into the whole multiverse thing, quantumverse thing, multi-quantumverse thing. You had Loki going on. So I don't understand how you had to get rid of the character if you had to replace the actor for whatever reason. You had to replace the actor, and it wouldn't be the first time they've swapped actors in roles.
He was convicted of a crime. Very true, but it's a messy case. If you looked at the proceedings, it's very messy. That's all I'll say about that.
He just got to focus on making his way back and trying to get back in because he was on top of the world before this happened. So,
and that's it. But when you see back to the Kang thing, when you see Robert Downey Jr. step out as Doom, a part of me that's also like, it's obvious this was not part of the plan. This isn't part of Marvel's like long-term planning thing. So it's like, how do you like, where are we going here? I disagree with the boo victim nuanced trauma, but he wasn't a chronic abuser. Geek
Lawrence
Fusion
is trying not to get us canceled. Right?
Walked away to make a video. What I missed? Me struggling to get my screen sharing. You're right. You're right in time.
Yeah, actually, you didn't miss anything.
I didn't miss much of anything. Deadpool and Wolverine has officially become the 6th biggest domestic opening of all time,
and the highest grossing R-rated film of all time,
which is pretty dope because we're at a time where like nobody was going to the movies,
except for it's pretty much just a giant. What's the word? There's a word to say. It's just a giant genital joke for 2 hours.
Yeah.
What's the problem with that?
Yeah, that's kind of Deadpool, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of like Deadpool in general?
I guess that might be true.
Jack was just weirded out by it, you know.
Weird.
That's the word I was looking for.
There you go.
But wasn't that Deadpool to begin with? RDJ isn't a good choice for a replacement. We'll see. Bruce Timm, Chris turned down because originally they made him an offer to extend Batman the Animated Series to make a sequel kind of series, and he turned them down, saying, "We've been there." He said,
"We've been there." How?
Because he already made like 4 seasons of Batman Animated Series. He doesn't want to go back and tread the same water. And then he went into Justice League and Batman Beyond. It's like they did that, and he explained, they said, "How would you feel about going back?" And he's like, "Nah, we've been there. We've done that. I wasn't interested in just revisiting the world." And the more they started working on this and talking about it, the more it became interesting to kind of shake things up. That's what got them really excited. And to be honest, I agree, because can you imagine them actually doing a sequel series and not having Kevin Conroy?
Yeah, that part is tough.
They definitely shook. This content is definitely shook.
Put a pin in that. I have a comment on that. I think we should go into it when we talk about the review.
All right.
Yeah. I got something to say specifically about that.
Deadpool and Wolverine was fun, and I miss fun in movies. Yeah,
it was definitely fun.
Oh yeah.
Fun in movies
Uh,
is the most underrated thing people they ignore. You want this prestige film, but I obviously my movie ratings are different, but my movie ratings are heavily based on how fun and not boring the movie is.
The movie was definitely fun, but it was not a good story.
It was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot.
well,
Lawrence hasn't seen it.
I
You got
guess
nothing
that
to say, Lawrence.
I have everything to say. Well, because it comes down to this: some movies you expect more from, and you want them to be more compelling, and some movies you're cool with it being Fast and the Furious. And I guess
That's right.
where does that line get drawn? Is Deadpool the kind of movie that should be like Fast and Furious and Venom, or should it be a little bit more like The Boys and be a little bit more thoughtful and crass?
The problem with a movie like this, and don't get me wrong, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. It was definitely fun, but a missed
Maybe this-
opportunity and potential. The potential for what things they could have done. Small example, the Hulk fight. You know, in the movie, you blink, you saw Hulk's profile for literally less than 3 seconds. That could have been a minute and a half to 4 minutes of something awesome that you walk
Mhm.
away with. So I felt like there were little examples like that all throughout the film where I was like, oh, missed opportunity. Oh, the potential. And pretty much the whole thing is just a running dick joke for 2.5 hours. Or 2
Connie does
hours.
say she doesn't think it presented itself as a good story. It was marketed as fun, and that's exactly what you got.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. It was
It
definitely
delivered
fun.
what it promised.
I mean, from the marketing, I never, yeah, it showed like they
how
were
do you
kind of
have,
cracking
how do you
jokes
have
on each other.
Wolverine and you have the potential for freaking Colossus in this, because Colossus is in the Deadpool series, and you never get a fastball special. You know, I mean, there's just
Now,
all kinds of
when do we
missed
start
potential.
getting super picky that they didn't like pull out
Right.
your like
I'm
when you start
just
getting
saying,
super
I'm just
picky,
saying,
like,
missed opportunities.
but is it a missed opportunity or is it that you have a specific taste? And if
No, I wanted it. Listen, I knew this movie was going to go ham, and
Right.
so I wanted all the trimmings on this dish, and it was just it was a very tasty sandwich, but
that's
we're
what
not.
I meant to say. Corey said, "Jack, you're nitpicking, buddy. Nitpicking
I'm
the
not
buddy
nitpicking.
comedy."
I'm just it's the movie. The movie was fun. It was definitely good, but it wasn't like it was just some missed opportunity in there. That's it.
Okay, I'm sure you guys expounded upon that
Yeah.
last
It
week.
was a good time. It was a great time. All right.
It was a fantastic time.
I think it was a comic love letter between two besties. And I do think, without seeing it, it was a love letter to Fox films. A nice goodbye
Absolutely.
to 20th
Yeah.
It was a
Century
love
Fox.
letter and an
Right.
F you to Fox. It was great.
Yeah, it was a little bit of little bit of both.
A
That's
little
true.
bit of both. Fantastic Four next steps. It won't be an origin story, apparently. When asked whether or not the film will detail the group's origins, the director said the movie will do its own thing and won't tell the story of the group getting their powers. One of the things we decided early on was not to do an origin story. One of the ways we're making it our own thing is not telling that story. Blah blah blah. That's interesting because we don't. I mean, think about the people that aren't geeks.
Well, it's definitely interesting based off the trailer that was dropped, leaked, and then disappeared, because everything about that trailer is origin.
Well, maybe
Unless
that's just
you're
one
seeing the first 5
montage
minutes.
flashback. Yeah.
Did we
That's
talk about it
exactly.
last show about the whole retro 60 thing?
Yeah.
Like they can't do retro 60 because then like where did all the technology go?
Right. It's
Where did
literally
say that again? Where did all the technology? Say it
Yeah,
again.
where did all the technology go? If you're gonna present retro 60 is like it's like set back in time, but it's like advanced. So you got like the Jetsons, you know,
Right.
Yeah.
or like
Fallout.
Fallout.
Yeah.
Right? Like they have like fusion operated cars, but they look like cars from the 60s, right? They got robots, but you know they still got like a Frigidaire.
Well, that's why I hate the multiverse, because you're allowed to do anything you want. So they can say, in this multiverse, their 1960s has all this technology.
So
They
then,
just let you do whatever you want.
right? So then, well, I would assume that if they're going to do that, they can't have it in what universe we're in? 616. They can't have it there. Like just
I
can't
don't know
be
if the movies are 616, but no, this Fantastic Four can't be in our MCU Prime universe.
Yeah.
Because we would have heard about this superhero group in the 60s. Like we would have heard about them.
Unless they're like
The Eternals.
Yeah.
Deadpool has made a career as a comic character just being fun with little substance. This movie gave us an accurate depiction of that character. True. I have not seen it yet. Pretty sure I know the plot well enough. What do we got here? Sorry, I missed something. There's no real plot, Corey. It's just goofy fun between two friends. Also, it is a multiverse. Yeah, it's not 616, the MCU.
Yeah.
Because 616 is the comic, so they're all together. Happy ending, etc. Great to see it woven. What is it? Great to see. Great if.
Good Deadpool and tiny pieces while we watch.
Oh, cut.
Yeah. Cut them into tiny pieces.
It takes place on an alternate Earth where it's similar to the 60s version of the Marvel Universe. Well, yeah, but and that's my problem. That's my problem. Already confirmed it's not 616. It's funny. Kevin Feige thought it was 616.
How is Robert Downey Jr. coming as Doom for that going to be the big bad for everything? Or is he just a standalone?
It's going to be one big multiverse thing in the end.
Well,
all these universes coming together probably.
Well,
yeah.
Oh, wait, Dr. Doom's coming in for Fantastic Four? Because I know he's confirmed for the Avengers.
Yeah,
he's coming for Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four is confirmed for Avengers too, supposedly.
He's confirmed for Fantastic Four? I know he's confirmed for the Avengers. Right. Like Avengers
I know Fantastic Four is confirmed for Avengers.
But is Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom confirmed for Fantastic Four?
I don't know.
How do you have Fantastic Four? You're introducing Doctor Doom, and it's not the Doctor Doom. Of course, they're going to be tied. He might not, like they might fight Galactus or something, but Doom is coming from the same place.
A Doom, maybe not Robert Downey's Doom,
and
that's the problem.
And Harrison Ford's not Red Hulk.
Yeah.
So you're telling me there can't be a Doctor Doom that's not Robert Downey Jr. that shows up in the Fantastic Four? That Robert Downey Jr. is going to be our Doom. I think that's what's going on, Lawrence. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be our Doom. That's stupid. He's a Doom. He can't be the Doom.
He's the Doom.
He's Tony Stark.
Let's get to the debate.
Oh man, 616 under Paramount with Thor. Doctor Strange hinted 616. He'll probably have a small short. Yeah, he'll probably pop up in it. I hope not.
Yeah.
The only reason a multiverse works is thanks to Loki, but it's all a mess of nonsense. It doesn't even work because of Loki. Loki's series meant nothing. And the crazy thing about Loki's series, that's not even Loki. That's a variant that makes us. It's funny about Loki is that's not even the Loki we've been watching. That's a variant that actually makes you forget how the original Loki died.
He's
at Thanos' hand. It kind of like it makes you none of it matter. The original Loki died, being choked out by Thanos with a heroic act, and it doesn't even matter anymore because we don't think about him because the variant is sitting on the throne. Anyway, spoiler alert for 3-year show. RDJ will be the only Doom that shows up before Secret Wars restarts everything. Secret Wars will restart it. Geek Fusion, I'm going to talk to you. So if Secret Wars restarts everything, does that mean everything we watched so far won't matter, including like phase 1?
Yep.
What have we been doing?
Why are you confused, man? The comics do that all the time.
Not Marvel. Marvel does not do that all
Marvel
the time. Now they do, but for a long time, Marvel did not.
No. Marvel Now was the new 52 for Marvel. Marvel Now, they did it.
But they still kept their main continuity. 616 still always kind of existed. They didn't do like a DC Crisis thing where they erased all their history. At least not maybe recently, but not for a long time. That was the thing about Marvel. That's why it was so hard to jump into a story arc because you couldn't figure out where to jump in. You turn into a tree, and that's the only redemption the multiverse has. Geek Fusion says yes. I'm so upset. Yeah. Let's go to the debate so I can let off some steam. All right. It's time for it. That was the news. Sick of this crap. I'm so tired of talking about Doctor Doom. Here's the debate. With the announcement of Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom and the upcoming Avengers movie, which some might say is lazy casting. What would have been a better choice for the role? The caveats: you can pick a minor character that played in both the DCEU and the MCU, but they could not have had a major role. Minor role with a small appearance, or just someone fresh. Who are your three actors?
Should we go back? Want to go round robin?
Let's go round robin.
But I'm start with number one. My number one.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Wait,
So
real
not-
quick. Geek Fusion. Secret Wars in the comics restarts everything. Like all their issues go back to number one after Secret Wars. They totally did restart like the Crisis on Infinite Universe. Yeah, I know the Infinite Universe, but 616 was still going on with the Infinite Universe, right? Or am I thinking Ultimate?
Secret
me
War.
know.
Secret War is when Spider-Man got the symbiote suit.
Yeah.
Secret Wars storyline from 2015.
That's
There's Secret War and the Secret Wars.
Right. So I do
Okay.
think they did some restarting, but it took them a long time. Like DC did in the 80s. I don't think Marvel did it
Right.
until like the 2000s.
2015 is like yesterday.
Yeah. Well, not for a lot of people. We're old. For some people, they weren't born. They were.
No way.
There
All
might
right,
be 12-year-olds.
here's my top choice. If I were gonna cast someone as Doctor Doom, not taking anything away from Robert Downey, but hands down, I'd put Mads Mikkelsen in that thing. He's perfect.
Oh,
I mean,
right.
like
My bad,
perfect,
man.
perfect.
Yeah,
Like
he'd
there's
be
no
great.
perfect, better perfect than he's perfect for that part. He would crush it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You just gotta show up. You just gotta do a thing.
I don't know. Yeah. I
What
guess.
do you mean you don't know?
Wow.
I don't know.
Huh.
Well, I think what's always been really cool about the MCU is like the bad guy casting hasn't always been super obvious. Like this guy's going to be a bad guy just from seeing his picture.
Yo,
So I kind of, in my mind, it's kind of cool to go with a guy.
Matt's got mad range as an actor. He's not
He
just
does, but he plays a
he's-
lot of
he's
villains.
menacing without being like twirling a mustache.
He'll be good at playing a villain.
Right, but
Yeah,
it's kind
thank
of
you, Rich. Yeah, and it
Yeah.
is a villain. It's like
Oh,
one of the
it'll
most
be
iconic villain roles.
He's like, I don't want him because he plays too many villains. He needs to play.
And
yeah.
he's got
It
the
needs to be a
voice,
little
man.
bit
He's got-
more.
And he's got intelligence. He just oozes intelligence. He oozes sophistication.
Mhm.
I mean, he is the quintessential casting for this kind of role.
Your grandparents had the Mighty Mouse that could wipe out all the Mighty probably. Mighty Mouse could, where they destroyed all the multiverse started over with one timeline that was only called 616. But that was in 2015, right? So yeah, that happened later.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see. Yeah, whatever. Faces don't matter. Mads Mikkelsen is Jack's number one choice.
So I win.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he was my
You're
number
nuts.
2 choice.
Who's your number one choice, Rich?
My number 1. Wait, let's let me make sure I got this right. My number 1, because I want to piss people off, was actually I can't use him because he kind of had a fairly decent role. My number 1 is Coleman Domingo.
Oh,
Now we're cooking with grease.
That was my
What
number
are you
1.
talking about, Grease?
Now we're doing that. Now we're not taking the low hanging fruit here. Now we're mixing it up. Starting
Well,
a movie with a guy
My number
that
1
you're not
before that.
completely sure.
Yeah, my number 1 before that. I wanted to piss people off, but I just realized he had a decent role. Was Idris Elba?
And we know he's going to be Idris or Ryan Reynolds.
I
Because
think
we love
Sterling
them.
K. I think Sterling K. Brown is my number 2.
He would be great.
I think he'd be great.
He would be great.
Yeah.
I don't have a particular order. Daniel Day-Lewis would be my
Yeah.
Dr. Doom.
He would have to live it though. He'd be.
Yeah, and
Hey,
we
let him
get,
do his thing.
We get the movie like well, I guess it's already gonna be 4. Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis play any part.
Daniel
Yeah.
Day-Lewis. I like Sterling K. Brown though. Good choice. What you got, Jack?
Viggo Mortensen be great in the part.
Yeah, he'll be fantastic.
You good? He'll be good. He'll be great. Yeah, Vigo's great. He just
And
can
he's
play
not in any of this content either.
anything. He doesn't want to be. I think he just did an interview talking about these movies are suck.
That's why he'd be great in it.
Yeah. Rich was your number 2.
Well, my number 2 was Mads Mikkelsen.
What's your? It's your turn.
Okay. Well, no, well, I'm gonna say Mad Mikkelsen was my number.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
no, I
yeah,
think-
yeah. Chris.
Michael Stolberg. He was the guy. If you guys remember Boardwalk Empire, he was Arnold Rothstein in Boardwalk Empire. He had a small role in Doctor Strange.
Oh.
He plays a very like soft yet calculated bad guy.
Thanks, Connie. Okay.
You guys have no idea what I'm talking about.
You're not going to sell this with name
Ronald-
recognition.
Wait, Ronald who?
I'll hold on. Let me share my screen. Once you see his picture, he was when he was in Men in Black. Hold on, I'll show you.
And then tell me how you share your screen. 'Cause for some reason, I can't do it today. Doom should be in his 40s and good looking enough to make his vanity apparent when his face is mutilated. Well, I agree. Henry Cavill, I don't know. And that the caveat is he can't have a big couldn't play a superhero before. I don't think so, Chris.
Oh yeah, did you see him in Boardwalk Empire?
But to Geek Fusion's point, he does have to be handsome. Like one of the backstories of Doom is he covers his face because it's a small scratch.
Yeah.
There's something about the vanity of Doom.
No, I don't think he has to be handsome. He just has to be vain. You can be vain and not be handsome.
I was going to say, and anyone who's slightly has something going on, you don't have to be a superstar or a model to feel insecurity about your features or about a scar or something you have,
Yeah.
But it's not the insecurity. But that's a take. That's a take. Okay. Geek Fusion, I would only say about him being in his 40s that we're pairing a Doom that's going to be played opposite Pedro Pascal. So already you're dealing with kind of an older crop.
Right.
Pedro's definitely 50, right? 52, 53. My second choice, Denzel Washington.
Oh, okay.
Why the charismatic, fun? I want that scene of him and Reed Richards just being geeks together. Like the moment before he's bad should be just really dope to watch. In the comics, he's a good looking guy, guys.
I know what that's like, so I get it.
Cillian Murphy would be great. Yeah, he would be great. But part of the caveats is we can't use actors who's had big roles in superhero movies before. All right.
have supporting role. I mean, obviously he's Scarecrow, but
No buts. He had a big role in a superhero movie. Rich, would you allow Cillian Murphy?
No,
Yeah, I
he had
would
a big
allow.
role.
yeah.
Yeah. No.
So you're disqualified, Corey. Disqualified. Find another
Disqualified.
show to stop.
Pedro's 46. He's supposed to be the same age as Victor. So, yeah, he's 46. By the time the movie comes out, he'll be 58.
But that's not when they shot it.
That was like decades ago. What's next? Who's up? Okay.
Well,
Jack, your last one?
so I've got some runner-ups, but my third was actually Denzel too, which I actually thought was kind of low-hanging fruit for the part. But I just watched the Equalizer movies again, and
And they're great. You love them.
yeah, it's Denzel. What are you gonna?
It's funny. It seems like low hanging fruit, but he's only like played one villain in his entire career, which is
Yeah.
He still hasn't played a villain. Maybe I think is he a villain in this new Gladiator?
I don't think so. He's trying to take that role. Yeah, I don't think
But
so.
the thing about what makes Denzel
Pedro
such
Pascal's not 40 years old. Geek Fusion.
No, he's not.
I'm not older than Pedro Pascal. No,
that's a
way.
rough looking 40 if that's what he is.
the thing about Denzel
Thanks,
is
Connie.
he doesn't really play heroes or villains. He just plays whatever the humanity of that character is, right? So he's both heroic and villainous. He's just human. That's why he's
Right.
such a good actor,
Right. Be perfect Dr. Doom. Maybe aged out, but 40-something-year-old Denzel would be perfect.
Yeah.
Rich.
My last one is I'm gonna share a screen. Okay. Sure.
Everyone's trying to win this thing.
Bring it
I'm
in.
just trying to learn how to share my screen.
There you go.
He'd actually be great. He was
Actually,
great. In True Blood.
he's a perfect Doctor Doom. He
Yeah.
plays villain. So compelling. I don't know if you guys saw him in there's an HBO series where he played like a terrible husband, and he was menacing.
Or True Blood. He was in True. He was a villain in True Blood. He was Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well
Alex
done,
Skarsgård,
Rich.
What? He's 47. He'd be a good choice.
He's perfect choice. He's a perfect choice. Dang it, Rich. Chris, what you got?
Benicio del Toro.
Well, that's
a great
interesting.
choice.
Yeah.
That's a good choice.
Okay.
My choice is a terrible choice, but I'm going to go with it anyway. Connie thought you're excellent.
Of course. Thank you, Connie. Appreciate you. As always.
Oh, Pedro Pascal is 49 for the record.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
He's not 40. Dang. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
What? No. He played a big part in the MCU already.
Oh, he played Loki.
He played the actor playing Loki.
Rich, you said that's a small role. You said that works.
No, I
Rich,
didn't
you
say
said
that
that works.
Nah, dog.
I didn't say
no.
you didn't say anything about Matt Damon.
Does Matt Damon work for your caveat, Rich? He was
You
on
know what?
screen for 5 minutes playing an actor playing Loki.
I'll give it to you. I'm
Thank
over here
you.
looking at the wrong camera again. I'll
You
give
would
it to
think
you.
Matt Damon would be good casting for Doctor Doom?
I don't think. No.
I don't think he'll be good casting off of what we think he'll do.
To me,
I
that's
think
more
it's-
like Shannon
I-
Tatum playing Gambit.
It's not. Don't diss Matt Damon like that. Matt Damon's a beast. No, I think Matt Damon would bring something to it that we like. That's not obvious. That's not on the nose. Like a lot of our choices, with the exception, I think Denzel and Sterling K. Brown. It's like we know exactly what they're going to do as soon as we watch it. I like to see an actor take a take at it that's going to be like, oh, that's interesting.
Is that
Like
like Jake Gyllenhaal playing Mysterio?
Maybe. Even honestly, Pedro Pascal playing Reed Richards is interesting. Like that's not who I would go to as the
Could
brain
Pedro
of the MCU.
Pascal
Yeah.
play both Reed Richards and Doctor Doom?
In this, I think we'll allow it because they do whatever they want now.
Yeah, this one. Yeah,
I mean, let's just get Scarlett Johansson to play Doctor Doom.
it's two
Which
variants
probably
fighting
will
each other.
happen.
Doctor's Doom.
Hey, I'll take that.
Thank you, Connie. I think these options are great. Did everybody give their 3? Jack, you want to give us some runner-ups?
Sure. John Hamm,
Yeah.
I thought that. Yeah, John Hamm would be great.
Hugo Weaving,
Yep.
Great.
and that other guy.
Hugo Weaving.
That
Right.
other
And
guy.
you know what? That's the one, Jack.
That other guy's the one.
The other guy is it. Jack, you win with the other guy. That's it. He's the one. Great
Take
cast. It was
I had one. Aaron Tyler Johnson.
oh
Too young for this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
but
why not?
that's why I had him off to the side. I was like, yeah.
You could give him like gray hair like they did Tom Cruise in Collateral.
I don't think you have to give him gray hair. You could.
About Tom Cruise.
Maybe he's just a silver fox. They weren't aging him. He was just a silver fox.
Silver Fox.
But Aaron Taylor Johnson would be a great Doom for like if your Reed Richards was just like Miles Teller, who did play Reed Richards in Fan Four Stick.
That was the worst. That might be the worst superhero movie I've ever seen in my life.
Agree or disagree?
Yes,
Madam Web is a better movie than Fan Four Stick.
Yes, agree, 100%.
Rich?
I didn't.
I don't think I watched. Was Fan Four Stick? What was that one?
That's with
That's the one with Michael B. Jordan.
Jordan. It's
You
Their
know
logo
what?
was
No.
Fan Four Stick.
I'm gonna disagree with that one because I enjoyed it a little bit. In fact, no, Madam Web. No, I disagree. No, Madam
Rich,
Web
you're lying. Nobody
is duty
enjoyed
trash.
it.
It's duty trash.
No
Madam
one
Web is
really
duty
did
trash.
enjoy Fan Four Stick. Fan
But
Four
the
Stick
thing
went on to
that
hurt
Madam Web
careers.
gave us
I
was a lot
refuse.
of great
Nothing.
commentaries about Madam Web. Like I watched a 30-minute
Hey,
commentary.
did you know her
about
partner
Madam Web
was
was just
Parker's
horrible.
uncle?
Yo, Gooch is in the house, everybody.
Gooch is in the house.
Gooch.
He just wanted you
I
to say
haven't
Gooch.
watched Fan Four Stick Was Sue and Johnny not related? I think Sue was adopted.
Was he
right?
adopted? Yeah, one of them was adopted. I
Yeah,
forgot.
one was
Because their
adopted.
father was black. So I
I
have to
paid
imagine.
money to see that movie.
Silly rabbit.
Man,
Still not bad. Still not as bad as Madam Web.
I don't know, Geek Fusion. Watch them both. They're both on streaming now. Watch them both. And
Back to
The
back.
future. All right, man. I think we did it. Gooch is having a good time. Stick around, Gooch. Stick around.
the party's about to start.
Party's about to start.
Oh,
People
is
are
it
going to
time
be
for the main
upset.
event?
I think it's time for the main event.
I don't think I have sound for that, but we'll do this.
Isn't that the news?
No, that's a transition.
That's a
music.
transition.
That's the transition.
Oh man,
All right.
It's
We're
time.
going to jump in. Oh, go ahead, Jack. What does somebody do you say something? It's time for the main event. Say
I
it.
just said it.
Oh, time for the main event.
He just
Yo.
said it. Too.
Yo. So, yes, give me that, Rich.
Come on, man.
Give me that, Rich.
Yeah, Bob.
Yo, we're talking about that Batman, that caped Crusader. I'd rather watch Fan Four Stick, Catwoman, and Batman and Robin than watch Madam Web again.
Wow.
listen. At least with Catwoman, you got someone to look at.
You know her son level was a
And
male.
that was the show.
If you're going to be a bad movie, give me some eye candy, or just make it entertaining. I mean, what are we talking about?
You know, to a lot of, I'm leaving that there. Batman the Caped Crusader. I'm going to read you guys a brief synopsis, and then we're going to give our spoiler-free thoughts, and then we're going to jump in episode by episode. We're just going to give you our thoughts, feelings, concerns, likes, and dislikes. But first, after a family tragedy of an, it's pretty much just Batman's.
Just Batman.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
origin.
I'm dying to hear it.
After a family tragedy, a philanthropist, Bruce Wayne, transforms into the Batman, where his crusade for justice spawns unforeseen ramifications.
Can I say something?
Please.
That lukewarm synopsis is kind of how I felt about watching this series.
Well, give us your spoiler-free thoughts.
You just did it. Like they said, after a family tragedy. Like how boring can you be with a synopsis? His parents were gunned down.
Jack, we're talking about our thoughts on the series, not the synopsis on IMDb.
Oh, right. Sorry. I just kept asking myself why a lot of times. Like,
Really?
Why? You know, like even not without giving any spoilers, like Bullock. Like why?
Crusader, you could not get past the first episode. It was the most boring episode in DC animated. We'll get into it.
Man.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, no spoilers, Jack.
No, but like on some level, it was just like
That outfit.
character assassination. I didn't mind that character assassination on some. It would be an extreme version of what they're doing here. But this whole thing felt like it didn't feel like inspired by. It felt like
Well, no spoilers in the chat. Oh, y'all can talk about, but I won't put it on the screen until we get into it. Sorry, Jack. Go ahead.
I guess that's how that's my spoiler-free thoughts on it. I liked certain elements of it. I like that it exists. I like the animation style for the most part. The combat was really bad, but the stories, some of the story arcs were pretty interesting.
See, I think the combat was actually pretty good, especially that the episode where it's,
No spoilers. Spoiler free. Don't even.
You
talk
thought
about
the
what's in it.
combat was good?
Wait, we'll get there.
One episode, it was really good. I thought.
Rich, who do you think played the best Batwoman or Catwoman? T23 wants to know.
The best Batwoman. Who played the best Batwoman or
Catwoman?
Halle Berry.
I mean, listen,
Like a kid.
young Halle Berry, baby. Yo, Eartha Kitt
more.
hadn't appealed to me, but again, she was super old at that point. To me, at least, like when I didn't see Eartha Kitt as Catwoman. I saw Eartha Kitt in whatever role she was at the time when I was born. I'm like, I was looking at stuff.
What was that?
So,
Harlem Nights.
Harlem Nights.
Michelle
Yeah, probably was
Pfeiffer?
Harlem Nights. Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah, she was also killing it too, right?
And that outfit of hers was crazy.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to go Halle Berry. She wasn't in the best Catwoman movie. That was not a good movie.
He said, "Who do you think played the best Batwoman or Catwoman?" Not who's the best looking Catwoman or Catwoman.
I'll say Michelle Pfeiffer. I will say
Okay.
It's good.
Who played it?
Thanks
Chris,
for
go
the
ahead.
question.
Sorry.
I felt I felt it hunted for its tone a lot of times. I felt there was some good pluses to it. There was some really I had problems with a lot of the choices that they made.
Oh, did you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I don't believe that.
yeah.
You?
And but honestly, you know what I wish? I wish they only released one episode last week and this week so that we could. I felt like I
So
rushed.
you get like
So you
No,
didn't
no,
have to
no,
waste your
Julie
time
and
with
her.
us. Like,
No, I'll tell you this because I felt like I rushed watching the series for
Love
the
Julie Newmar.
podcast. I love, yeah, she's bad.
Me too.
Yeah, I
Feel
felt
the
like
same way.
I'm gonna go back and rewatch it because I felt like I rushed it, and I think it deserves a rewatch before I give it an honest rating.
Chris, you got to rate it today, though.
you ain't got it.
Yeah,
I'll give it a
I
rating
guess we'll get a dishonest rating.
I'll go next. I think I liked it, but I think I liked it because I already have in my mind what these things are. So I think I was naturally filling in blanks that weren't there. I don't like, and maybe this is why I said X-Men 97 or Batman the Animated Series. I don't like procedurals. And I was kind of hoping this show, being kind of a crime noir, we would have watched him do detective work over the course of episodes.
We got that.
It's episodic. Nah, it's very episodic, and I didn't mind the changes because the changes they made to characters is what made Batman the Animated Series so good. They turned characters on their head and switched them around. Mr. Freeze was a joke in the comics, and then they said we're going to do this with him. So that's kind of what they do. So I didn't mind the changes so much as it didn't feel like it was captivating enough to come out once a week. And I think dropping it all at once is what they had to do because it's not Invincible. It's not X-Men 97 that's going to make you go, I got to get back to this next week. It felt like it just kind of sits there and you appreciate the aesthetic, but the depth, it didn't have as much depth as it looks like it should have.
Yeah,
I would
especially
say.
with the roster with Bruce Timm, Matt Reeves, Ed Brubaker, all these like established Batman people in there. I felt I expected more.
They didn't make it like they were making a live action thing. They made it felt like they made a cartoon. They didn't approach it like I imagine they approached the Penguin series. They approached it like we're doing. Whereas X-Men 97 to me, they approached like they're doing a live action long movie.
Yo, X-Men 97 was
right.
Was
KJ was like listening to Frank Drescher. Fran, no, it wasn't. X-Men is written beautifully. Check out my show, Diabolical Souls Present. Oh, we would definitely check you out. And everybody in this chat, check him out.
Mayo on to discuss X-Men on your show, Gooch? Damn.
I know. And he's here listening to us.
Yeah. Damn.
Good man. Rich, what's your thoughts? Spoiler-free thoughts, and then we'll rock and roll.
If it wasn't for the show, if it wasn't for the fact that if it wasn't for the show, I would have stopped at the first episode. I was not enjoying myself at all.
Bravo, Gooch.
A whole bunch of questions. Why?
Gooch.
Why was this even a choice? Why are we doing this? Yeah, I didn't enjoy it.
All right. Well,
all right, let's spoil this thing.
Let's get into this thing. All right. Let me give you the.
Can we start with Chris? You said you liked the combat.
Yeah. So we'll jump ahead. So in that episode where
please don't say the Clayface one.
No, Barbara Gordon, and they were stuck in the model home. It wasn't even Batman combat, but that fight scene with Barbara Gordon and the other dude, the dude that ended up being a bad guy, they were fighting. I thought it was pretty cool. I like the fight scene.
That wasn't even a fight. That was like a punch, and not
they were fighting.
See you, Gooch. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for the sub too. We'll sub to you too.
Yeah, now that I feel like you're getting heavy hitters, Gooch. Damn. But yeah, I thought it was good, but
I like the combat. I like the combat a lot.
Let's get by episode because
you like the combat a lot.
I did because this series felt like if it was a reimagining of like the 1940s serials where they just throw punches like Indiana Jones. It was supposed to be that way. Batman's not a ninja in this.
And long telegraph punch.
Yeah, it felt like it was a product of that time. It's supposed to be the 40s. It's supposed to be like watching
when guys would box like this.
Yeah. So I appreciated the 1940s Batman serial vibe. So I thought the combat fit really well with what they were doing. Absolutely.
Whoosh.
What do you think, Jack?
No, I didn't like the combat. I thought it was very rudimentary.
Yeah.
A lot of repetitive, like, and I got he's a puncher. He punched a lot, and no one knows how to dodge a punch or whatever though. But it's like the sword fight scene with him and the Clayface was an opportunity for the combat to be maybe a little more choreographed, and it was like.
Well,
It was like
you know what's funny?
it's like the same 4 swipes.
You know, it seems like that there were a lot of scenes that were taken out almost shot for shot out of the animated series, and that was one of it because that was like remember that Ra's al Ghul episode where he's sword fighting with Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, well, maybe it was maybe the lack of the music affected its ability to land. You know, like
maybe
the music from that original Batman the animated series was so great in the series.
They had an actual orchestra doing it.
And they weren't spending the money like that on this.
Yeah,
Not like that. They spent money on Batman the Animated Series.
That's why it's the best cartoon ever made.
Nah.
Yes.
Next to X-Men 97.
So episode 1 we get the Penguin, right?
In Treacherous Waters, we get Oswaldo Cobblepot.
Right. So let's address the elephant in the room. They changed Penguin into a lady, which I didn't necessarily have a problem with.
I didn't have a problem with that either.
But I
We
thought
did not
her
have
voice,
a problem.
I thought
What
her
do you
voice,
I liked her as like this Griselda, like this evil like
Ursula?
Adrena, like
Ursula, you mean?
no,
Because she
no,
looked
no,
like
no, no,
Ursula.
no, Griselda, like she, like you know, like it's like the drug dealer Sofia
Dalmatian.
Vergara was based that she played on Netflix, that Netflix show, where you have
Oh,
like,
yeah.
where you have this woman, like mob leader, and she has her boys, you know, involved and stuff like that. I was okay with that choice. That wasn't the biggest sin for me. Was it wasn't that choice?
but I didn't think that actor's voice matched the body. Like she had a soft, high voice. The voice for this character, but her drawing wanted to have more presence in the bass. You know,
All the women are just are drawn like linebackers. Freaking what's her face?
they're
Montoya is like her back is
huge.
mad wide, like a power lifter. Like
Like,
it's
what are we doing here?
it's just weird.
When I saw the first episode, I'm like, wait a minute. Like, are they like under distress? Like duress? Like, what is happening? Why are they just cheering for her? Like, oh no, this is great. I enjoy watching her flaunt her stuff around here. Sitting here like a large nosed linebacker. Like, what are we like?
wow.
What's happening right now?
So she's like
she has, she's got juice. Like everybody there, everyone's there is paid off. She's part of whatever imports or exports. Like she's. It'd be no different if Penguin was a dude doing the same exact thing, and everybody's like clapping because everyone's well paid. All the people that are crooked cops are in here. It's the Iceberg Lounge. So I felt like it was all part of their environment and how important she is to their money or something.
It was an unnecessary change, and her sons meant absolutely nothing. They were imbeciles, and she was killing them off left and right. So
I actually liked this Penguin, and to be honest, and Chris, you might debate me. Batman the Animated Series did a lot of things right. It did not do the Penguin right. For the Penguin, the Penguin is the most forgettable character in Batman the Animated Series.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that.
she was forgettable too.
In one episode, this version of Penguin is more compelling than the original animated series.
Because this version is an actual crime boss, and I've always said this: Batman works best when he's fighting organized crime. So I'm okay with. I don't care about the gender swap. The gender swap I don't care about. I like when you put Batman up against mob stuff, and we got a lot of that. But
that is true, kind of.
I don't know, man. Like
I like this episode, guys. I did like this episode.
Here's my problem. So you're going with a serious tone where she's okay. I get it. She owns like a burlesque club and she sings and she dances. But at the end of the episode, she has a giant
missile.
a giant
Rocket
missile launcher
launcher?
shaped like
Oh,
like an
come
umbrella.
on.
No,
I
the
felt
umbrella
like
was a covering over it. She just pulled the tarp
right,
off.
but I felt like that was way too campy and way too. It wouldn't be something she'd do in this universe if she's really the boss taking out Rupert Thorne. You tell me she's gonna fire a missile from the top of her lounge where everyone knows it's her?
She essentially
Right?
had a howitzer. Like who wouldn't
Yeah,
notice that,
exactly.
bro?
Well,
Exactly.
I guess that's where it gets a little confusing, and I think you said that about tone. What are we like? Where are we? How like Batman the Animated Series found a great way of blending the tone between camp, sci-fi, supernatural, crime drama, where it felt pretty seamless. I would say that was a little jarring, seeing she had a freaking missile launchers blowing up buildings from the sea.
Right.
But I will say this isn't like a 1940s inspired 2024. This is legit the 1940s. So maybe in Gotham they don't have the technology to figure out where these explosions are coming
But
from. They don't
Lars,
have.
you need eyes. You don't need technology. You need
Yeah,
eyes.
eyes and ears. Like, wait a second, that noise was coming from. Have you ever seen a howitzer go off? It is jarring. It is
Yeah.
absolutely jarring. There's no way you could not have seen this.
I agree, C23. Characters shouldn't
And-
change, but I don't think the Penguin's gender never mattered in the comics, nor his gender didn't matter. That's why it didn't bother me so much. But it could
And
have
it's
been
not
a
like
brand
it's
new
the
character.
first time they shot the cannon off. She blew up how many buildings?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
You know,
She blew up
and-
buildings before the episode
and-
started because they talked
And
about
why
the
does she
fires.
have it on her legitimate business?
Right. And
She
there are
had-
people in the business while she's shooting it off.
Right.
Now,
Definitely a
Corey
flag on the
Corey
play.
came at me pretty hard in the comments. I didn't realize it was Gina Davis, and Gina Davis is a phenomenal actress. But I'll stand by that. I thought her voice was a little soft for the way she's drawn. Like she's drawn as she should probably have.
She looks rough. Like she should have a
she
rough
needs
voice.
that physicality wants a huskier kind of.
But in all fairness, Penguin is rough and he doesn't have a Ron Perlman voice.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I will tell you. No.
She needs a smoker's voice. I need her to be smoking Marlboro Red Cowboy Killers. That's the kind of voice, like a lunch lady voice. That's the voice I need.
S says I like gender swaps. Some are fun and give you different perspective. I think so. I think this
How did
version
the
of Penguin
gender swap enhance the character?
It did.
This gender swap
It
didn't enhance it, but it gave you a different element of how many episodes can we watch men be crime bosses with henchmen? At least this crime boss, the way she controls her goons, it was different. It wasn't this stopped it from feeling repetitive.
But you didn't really see her control her goons. Like you just saw her goons kind of just. I mean, you saw more of her interacting with her sons.
Those are her goons,
and clearly she was just killing them off.
Yeah. Which is interesting.
That was if that's all of her goons, then who cares? And literally half of her goons are a bunch of rats, and the other one just seems like he was a punk. He don't seem like he got his hands dirty.
Oh, she's a terrible crime boss. We're not debating that, but that's what makes it interesting.
But even with that being said, with her being a crime boss, being a terrible crime boss, when Batman was coming through with the sub, you saw all those dead bodies in the coffins or she couldn't, like, are those her goons or those people that got in her way?
Let me ask you, because I was a little confused about this. Were they really her sons, or they become like her sons when?
No, they were really her sons.
She birthed them.
Yeah. That's the impression I got, because when he was talking, when the other son was talking with Barbara Gordon, she's like, "Yeah, my mom's gone crazy. She just killed my brother." Like,
right?
Yeah.
I didn't mind the Penguin, but I get why people would. What did you guys think about our introduction to freaking Batman Bruce Wayne? For me, the beginning of this could have been Batman the Animated Series. That first sequence. There was nothing different about it until they shot the guy and he died. I was like, oh, okay, this isn't Batman the Animated Series.
So when we were talking before earlier in the show, we're saying how he didn't want to revisit Batman the Animated Series. I thought the level of violence that they added, it wasn't gratuitous, and if you added that to Batman the Animated Series, it would have enhanced the story. And I would like to see an extension of Batman the Animated Series with this TV 14. I don't need to see gratuitous violence, but the violence that they had in here, I feel like was appropriate to the tone. If you would just added that to Batman animated series, I thought it would have been amazing. Because then you don't have to have these crazy stories where he jumps out or I don't know, maybe he survived the crash, or no, people can die and have it be finite, and I like that.
Yeah. What did you think about the Bruce Wayne character?
I thought the Bruce Wayne character.
I liked him.
I thought we saw more Bruce Wayne in this than we saw in Batman the Animated Series.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the billionaire playboy. He really exemplified the billionaire playboy part.
Well, he's also smart. Like when he's being interrogated and he plants the wire on the top, right?
Yeah.
There's like we see him, and he bribes her too, right? He's like gives the cop he kind of soft offers a bribe to the cop to test his waters. So it's like he's playing the role really well. And this is where I go. There are certain story elements of this that I actually thought was pretty clever and worked well.
Yeah, and I love a Batman that's street level. So to see him in the Batcave and there's no computer because it's the 40s and he has to rely on his wits. He doesn't have all this technology. He is a detective. That's why I like that. I prefer this than a sequel series to the animated series because I do enjoy a Batman who is extremely high tech.
Do you think he should have had purple gloves in this, Lawrence?
That's a rough one, Jack. That's a rough one, man.
Realistically, I don't think Gold Gloves would have translated well on screen, but
it would have been dope if he did.
Yeah,
it would have been dope. I'm not mad that he didn't, but if he did, that would have been a nice freaking callback.
You know what
you're gonna get rid of the
spikes,
he
didn't have them in the beginning.
That's what you're just gonna put them in I'm gonna punch you with these leather gloves.
Yeah.
These latex gloves. What else do I have here?
I just hate that he was a jerk to Alfred.
He was
that whole aspect. I don't care if they tried to at the end bring it together where
right.
You've known Alfred Alfred raised you. Alfred's like a father to you, and then now at the end of your adventure, not Pennyworth. Come on, man.
No, I agree, man. I didn't get their relationship. I mean, I got Alfred's, but I didn't get their relationship. And you know whose relationship I got even less was Catwoman's maid butler person.
Let's talk about Alfred real quick. First,
that boy eating good.
Well, I think what I like about this redesigned Alfred is that every Alfred since Batman Earth 2 and then into Batman v Superman has an Alfred that we all know served in the military and he probably taught Bruce how to fight. And I like this showing us an Alfred who was just his butler.
He's still a nobleman, though.
He is, but he wasn't an officer. He wasn't a fighter. He was just a butler / father figure. And that's kind of what I'm getting from this image. As far as how he treats Alfred, I don't mind this take. We've had the other ones. I don't mind it being different. We already got the you're my dad stuff.
If you're gonna do it, then why have this revelation at the end of the series, at the end of the season, where instead of calling him Pennyworth, he calls him Alfred? You act
because I think in this series, and they didn't do it well because they didn't focus on Batman enough. They focused on the villains and the world more than the actual Batman. But basically, he didn't have any humanity. He used Bruce Wayne as a tool to get what he wanted. And you saw that later with freaking Harvey. He even snapped at Harvey because he just wanted him to testify. By the end of this series, whether he earns it or not, he gains some sense of humanity. He doesn't have family. Bruce Wayne is just a mask. That's why he wears his mask in the cave the whole time. There's no third guy to this Batman yet. So I think that's what they were doing. I don't think they did it well because we didn't delve into the mind of this man enough. But I think that's what they were trying to do.
I picked that up. I agree. I think you're right. That's actually a really good point, Lawrence. There was not the typical 3 Batman persona.
C23. Go ahead, Jack. Yeah.
No, I was just agreeing, right? There's not the 3 Batman. And I noticed that too. I was like, why is he wearing his cowl in the whole time?
Right.
There's no way it's comfortable. It's got to be hot.
They almost wrote him as if he's as emotionally unstable as Harvey Dent. When that section where he snapped at him when he was Bruce Wayne, and he snapped at him. I'm like,
He is, because
Well, that's why Pennyworth has to reassure him that there's humanity in him still, right? And they
Right.
have that in the episode.
which leads to the Alfred moment. But if that was a
Right.
through line we were following the whole time with Bruce Wayne, I
Right.
think it would have made the stuff that we don't like here make sense.
So do you think that, and I mean, I'm jumping to the end, do you think that if Batman didn't have the growth through this series, he would have actually shot the guy at the end?
no,
No.
I still think.
And I think that it goes to what you said. I think it's true character. He doesn't have it in him.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think. Although I will say, jumping to the end, I thought he was going to kill him, because if they're dealing with first comics Batman, I'm like, how much of first comics Batman are you doing?
He carried a gun in the beginning.
Wait,
He
can
did.
I say something that really bothered me? Bullock bothered me in this.
Me too.
Let's talk about it. I loved Bullock.
Bullock's always been a punk, but he's not been a criminal.
Right.
I liked
He's
it.
just a criminal.
See, I like Bullock, where you're constantly questioning him and whether you know he's a good cop, but he's not that good of a cop. He's a little bit dirty, but he's not really dirty. And I like that he told this line where, he'll break the rules, but he's not on the take. This Bullock was just a bad guy.
This Bullock was just a criminal.
I liked
Yeah.
it. But let me ask you guys a question. How much? We don't all just want to rewatch the same thing we watched 30 years ago.
I know, but for Bullock's partner to be a criminal is one thing, and for Bullock to be kind of towing the line, but never he crosses the line. He doesn't check the partner. There was no moment of pseudo heroism for him. He's just a
Nope, he's
bad
on the
guy.
take.
Bullock has to be a bad cop. Like if we're doing a version where Gordon is the only good cop, he's got to be the only good cop.
He
So
could be
Bullock
one
has to be
toe in,
bad.
one toe out. You know.
Yeah,
It waters Gordon down.
No, I would prefer it like that. I would prefer it if we're not sure about Bullock.
That's Harvey. That's Harvey's place in this. We're not sure about Harvey.
But we know Harvey.
Yeah.
We know Harvey is Two-Face.
Which is I didn't mind Bullock being bad.
What about Harley Quinn with no Joker at all to be that Jester character?
I loved it. We'll get there. I think that's all of episode 1. What about the Batmobile design? Before I move on.
Appropriate.
Was there a
Alright, for
Batmobile
the
in
time.
this?
Yeah, it's appropriate time. It's
Did
like
you say Rich?
It's appropriate for the
I
time.
thought they said it's a waste of time.
Yeah,
But
appropriate
it
for
kind
the
of
time.
was.
damn.
It wasn't. There was nothing memorable about it.
I'm taking
It
this
was
as
black.
he's just beginning, so he's just I think it's going to evolve as it goes on, and
it's the 40s. He doesn't have a computer. He uses a radio. It's a very streamlined, almost sort of realistic take. The animated series was not realistic. It was the 40s, but it was set in the future.
Exciting. I guess that's my point.
It
You
was-
could have had the
yeah.
same car design and add a little more bass to the sound effect or the way.
or they could just put that bat. They could have put that bat on the. Remember the Batman the animated series when they show how Batman got his Batmobile and he had the first Batmobile that looked very very much like this model, but at least it had a bat on the front.
Something.
Yeah, but why would he put a bat
Even
on the front?
Catwoman, why did Catwoman had a whole freaking cat car?
Because she's
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
It looked like the Thundercats car.
If you guys ever watch the old 1940s serials, he drives around in a regular car. It ain't even black car.
Yeah, because if you
That's
think
fine,
about
I'm
it,
just-
with this car in particular, like it's just a blacked out big car. He can park it in any dark alley. No one will really pay attention to it.
He's hunted by the police in this. He needs to not
Everyone's
be.
saying how nice of a car it is. So for that time, it was a dope car.
It was a dope car, but at the same time, you won't be
can-
like, "Oh, that car belongs to like a superhero."
Yeah,
or
but
something.
if the people weren't saying how nice his car was, you'd never think it.
it's true,
Right?
it's
Hey,
true.
he's got a nice car. He's got a nice car. Like they had to tell us it's a nice car, so we'd agree that it's a nice car.
But so you have to make a decision. Do you make?
They
a
never
smart-
say it's a nice car in Batman the Animated Series. We just see it and you're like, yo, look
That's
at
a
that.
dope car. Yeah.
Yeah. But do you have a Batman that's trying to blend in, or a Batman that's a ninja driving around town in this?
Hey man, I'm just saying it wasn't exciting.
Listen,
No, it wasn't standout. Next episode.
uh,
Rich, your favorite episode.
yeah, my God.
and be a villain. Clayface. This is crazy because Chris, you know the Clayface episode in the animated series was like
A banger.
Yeah.
riveting.
Yes.
This one,
Um,
I didn't like Montega. I'm like, what kind of cop is this? And just kind of jump a little bit ahead, like when she went to the actor to interview him, and literally he just got stabbed. She breaks in the door, doesn't clear the room, and then puts her back to the only exit that's there, and then calls the police for backup. I'm like, what? Who did any research for police officers at all?
now, let me ask you guys a question. I like this episode a lot because I see where they're pulling from. It reminded me of like the old 1940s Universal kind of horror films.
Yeah.
What is it? The Silence. What is it, the opera? Phantom of the Opera. It felt like I was watching a throwback. And in those throwbacks, they're tropes. They do turn their back when they shouldn't. They do. So I wonder how much are they playing with tropes that's not working versus they actually just dropped the ball. And I feel like they're playing with the genre. They're playing with the time period that they're playing in. I don't know. I like this. It wasn't as compelling as the animated series version. Absolutely not.
No, that anime series version was.
Oh my god,
That's
it
a
was.
hit.
Oh, it hit hard.
This one,
Yeah.
I'm just like, nah.
This one was kind of like an old, Universal.
But you know what?
Monsters movie.
You know what I did get a sense of just how good this character is. Like the fact that we still don't have a version of Clayface in a live action form.
He'll be
He's-
more like this if he shows up in the Matt Reeves universe.
Yeah, it will.
He's not going to be.
Or he's a psychopath who's cutting other people's faces off. You know.
I would love that.
You know, like, but the whole idea of this character is just. Clayface was the original Sandman, essentially. So that's the kind of the power set, and it's just kind of grown and grown and grown more fantastical. But this is closer to real world version of it. We just got a dope ass actor. We got Daniel Day-Lewis, whose face is jacked up, and he's just playing all these parts, going on a murder spree.
And I guess his descent into villainy, they could have made the leap work a little better.
Yeah, it felt a little.
You don't just become a bad guy, a serial killer. I get the revenge. Actually, I can get the revenge, but he was waxing poetic. But no, actually, I liked it because the actress called him out. She's like, "I don't believe a word you're saying."
Yeah,
because I didn't believe a word he was saying. So
Right.
I kind of bought the self awareness. Do you like the design of this Clayface?
I did, yeah. I liked that whole idea of it. I thought he was one of the more interesting characters in the series.
I miss the clay monster. The
I do
more
too.
monster.
yeah.
Right. But like, this doesn't take away the clay monster. But
No, it doesn't.
This on is standing on its own,
Well,
unbiasedly.
this is just a dude with a jacked up face. He's not got any
No,
superpowers
He
or anything.
He still went through the process, and
He
you
can
can
still
see
mold
things.
his face. Into
Right, but
It's
you saw him do that once. Like Outer Love did a little bit more when there was like a foot chase, and he kind of blended into a crowd, and he like was molding his face and whatnot within that.
Yeah,
and then
but he's
got
not
away.
changing his whole body. He's not
Right.
like
There's a defense
he's not
between
able
Ben
to
and
make-
Homer. What doesn't work? Yeah. What worked maybe in the 40s doesn't work in 2024. Yeah.
But any other version of Batman, like this version of Batman fighting any other version of Clayface, where Clayface would have been able to actually,
It would not work.
No, but he also would have been like demolished in a heartbeat.
Destroyed.
This Batman is very incapable.
He doesn't have any gadgets.
Doesn't have to get. He just got the gun, the grappling
Because
gun. That's it. And
he's
smoke
very
pellets.
capable if he existed in the 1940s.
I
He
mean,
does-
it feels like the whole content's got a big asterisk by it.
Yeah, but
it doesn't, because Batman did exist in the 1940s. So there's material
Yes,
there where he didn't have all the gadgets you're thinking about.
Yeah, okay. I'm not saying that, but he doesn't feel like he's like. If I consider this the season as a whole, he's outsmarted, outclassed, outmatched time after time after time after
Yeah,
time.
he gets whooped every episode.
Every episode, right? Like Harley Quinn wins, locks him in the thing, blows him out of the building when the building collapses. He jumps on top of Two-Face's car and gets hit by the debris.
Breaks
It's
his ribs, gets a
But-
concussion.
Yeah, he's
I
very
like that.
incapable.
He's very capable. It's very much like season 1 Netflix Daredevil. He doesn't get to walk away unscathed, but he took down Clayface. He took down
I guess if that were the case, I wouldn't have minded a little bit because you do get a Batman Year One vibe going on, obviously. But
Totally.
Well, you have to take it as a Batman Year One vibe because if this is Batman Year 5, you're like, how has this dude survived this long?
Yeah.
I got it. But if that were the case, I would have wanted a little more, grittiness to it.
You want Bruce in the cave with Alfred wrapping his ribs, saying you got to stop, and he's like, "No, I got to go out." We didn't focus on the guy. That's the problem.
And Alfred was far too willing to just be involved in the insanity if Alfred's just kind of like going with the flow.
Well, here's the thing too.
I can say the same for the original series too. I didn't know why that Alfred was down for it either.
Well,
I don't either.
Alfred,
and how freaked out would Alfred be when that kid opens his door in the middle of the night and he's covered in shadow? He goes, "I'm gonna kill them all." Like,
yeah. He looked like a psychopath. I'll make them pay. All right, crazy. I don't know. I just think that if you're gonna have Alfred be down for the cause, you're gonna have to have. He was so cold and so mean to Alfred the whole time. Like he was just hypercritical of everything. Like when we go into the Gentleman Ghost episode, it's like Alfred has to be 108 degrees or it's gonna give me nerve damage. He's like, I know. Like I've been taking care of you for how many years? I know.
Yeah, because he's a child. I think that's why Alfred's down for the cause. He knows this is a 9-year-old child.
I mean, Alfred's best moment is when he's waxing the car in the middle of the night and hears the gunshots go off.
Alfred, he's dealing with a child. It's very much like what we saw in Pattinson's Bat film. An Alfred that tolerates this grown-up 9-year-old who still
but at least in that, I felt like Bruce Wayne appreciated him.
He said, "You're not my father." He did not appreciate him until he almost got blown up.
He was petulant, but then he still appreciated. You felt like he had love for him. This
Did
Bruce,
you?
I felt like, yeah. He was a jerk, but
Pattinson's Batman was a jerk to his Alfred until like the end in the hospital. He just was emo about it. He wasn't aggressive with him. He was just very, "What do you care, Alfred? It's not your family."
Like, I hate you, Dad.
He was like that.
Thank you for the macaroni and cheese.
Thank you.
It was cold at one point in one scene of this.
Huh?
Oh, the coffee is cold. He like complained about the coffee being cold.
Yeah, he was like coffee.
He was just treating like garbage.
And you know why I like it? Because we need to stop pretending like Bruce Wayne isn't the 1%. We need to stop pretending like he's a person of privilege. We need to stop pretending like he didn't grow up rich.
Wow.
Like, stop pretending he is not that.
Yeah, but you can grow up rich. I have friends who grew up rich.
Your friends aren't traumatized. They didn't see their parents get shot in the alley. I hope not.
I know,
but it didn't seem like
the housekeeper they treat the housekeeper like family. And this guy raised him. He's all you got.
He's a traumatized 10-year-old who never moved on from his parents' death, who goes out in a bat costume and punches people in the face. Yeah, he probably don't got the best social skills. He shouldn't have the best social skills. And the only time he has good social skills is when he's fake Bruce Wayne. Because he doesn't actually know how to have a real conversation. And in the next episode, we're going to get there. Right? I think it happened in this episode when he's sitting with Dr. Harley Quinzel.
Wait, let's go.
Let's go. But I think it started in episode 2 when he had to get psychological. Yeah, it started in
because he punches the guy. One of the reporters said, there's an exhibit with his mom's necklace, and the guy goes, "Wow, she was standing in the alley in a dark alley. Of course, she was going to get shot."
And he punches him, and that's Bruce. That's where he lives at all times. So no, he doesn't have the social skills to be anything but aggressive with Alfred. He plays Bruce Wayne, and then he's a guy that likes to hit people.
So that's it. So now he's in therapy with
Dr. Harleen Quinzel.
You're like,
which
okay.
I actually love this. Okay, I'm not taking away nothing from the original Harley Quinn. But to be quite honest, these are the people that created her in the first place. So they want to change her up. It's actually that they can change her up all they want. They actually created her. She didn't exist until Batman the Animated Series. So if they want to turn her on its head, I'm like, turn her on its head. Have some fun. And it was cool to see what Batman the Animated Series didn't do, which is she is an intelligent, freaking decorated psychologist. She's a therapist. We never saw actually see Harley Quinn use her wits and her intellect to get into the minds of her prey or victims. She just becomes a joke and a sidekick to Joker. But she actually has all those tools, and we finally get to see a version of Harley Quinn where, holy crap, you can actually use these skills.
I miss the voice, Mr. J. I needed
know.
that. Like,
but that's a take.
Well,
like not
really
every version got to be the same version.
You miss the relationship. And that's what you miss. You miss the relationship.
Gonna have to leaving the chat. The flight. Oh man, have a safe flight. We love you too, man. We see you next week. Have a safe flight.
Yep. Fly safe, man.
I don't miss the relationship. It is this abusive relationship where she's just the Joker's girlfriend. This is way more character depth than compared to the animated series.
I'm okay with them developing I was okay with them developing like her backstory and having her be kind of a standalone person, because then when she eventually meets the Joker, then they could meet more as equals versus just her being a lackey.
And I got a theory about that, but this is pretty much the Catwoman episode. We just see Harleen Quinzel deal with Bruce Wayne.
No. Yeah, this is the Catwoman episode, right? Where we introduce Harley Quinn.
Rich sent a text saying, "This is the worst Catwoman origin story ever." And honestly, this is kind of her origin. Before Batman Year One, she kind of was just a burglar, just because she wants money.
She just became a burglar, and it's like, how are you even able to do all these things?
Yeah, right. Nowhere she wasn't an acrobat.
Nowhere did she display that she was physically capable of doing all this. She just like, oh, I'm broke. I got to pay for bills now. I'm gonna start robbing. And now she can do a Jackie Chan jump off a wall and fence and hop over it. Like, what are we talking about?
Batman
in heels.
Yeah,
in a dress.
Everything happened in heels and a dress back. Not even that long.
Did you see Barbara Gordon was hoofing it? Man, she was hoofing it, hopping over things. I was like, what is going on here, bro? But anyway, Catwoman. We're talking about Catwoman.
Well, Batman survives gunshots when he's in spandex. So we got to suspension of disbelief for some of this. I will say for Catwoman and Batman being as iconic as they are, I expected more from this episode.
Yeah.
It's not significantly worse than Batman and Catwoman's outings in the animated series. There's another... Catwoman didn't get the best run in the animated series, Chris. It wasn't the most memorable one, especially coming after Batman Returns.
Yeah.
So it's not like this completely dropped an amazing ball.
This
was all right. It was just all right for me. It was all right.
Yeah, it felt like we got to get Catwoman in. Let's get her Catwoman in.
And it felt like an homage to the 60s.
If Catwoman, if they had gender bent Catwoman, how would that have worked out?
That would have weird. Yes, I'll tell you
that. That would have been different. I do love the part. Everything in this episode I love was between Bruce and Harley, though. How he swipes the file and he opens it, and she was like, "See you next week" with a Post-it. I'm like, I dig that stuff. That moment made this version of Harley Quinn, I'm sorry, Chris, superior than the original.
Well, she's smart. She's bright. Like
she's bright in the original. She's a freaking therapist.
Yeah, but they never really developed her therapy side in the original,
which should have been there.
But I almost feel like this version of her being a villain wasn't earned. Like, where was it? Because it's all just established. We don't see the transition. We don't see the moment where she crosses the line or starts to think about crossing the line. It's all just established from jump, and then we get spoon-fed it as it's happening.
No, what I like about it is some of these villains existed before our knowledge. She's been doing this for a long time. There's a whole freaking head, whole layer. So I'm cool with, because it's that old notion like Batman made these villains, but it's like, no, some of these villains we're already existing in the shadows.
Mm.
So I'm kind of cool with it. But it's a Catwoman episode, so I guess we're moving on from. She has a cat car inspired by Batman because she saw his
Yep.
It's
Batmobile.
inspired by Thundercats. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Thundercats. That's what it's inspired by.
She took all the money she was stealing to not pay her bills, but invest in her Catwoman persona. It's
Yeah,
kind of
she
silly.
moved out of that luxury apartment, moved into the slums, bought herself a brand new car. I mean, what are we doing here?
It's like every rapper in the '90s, Rich.
Yeah, didn't pay her maid.
Her
I
maid
mean,
character didn't make any sense. Why was the maid sticking around?
there was no reason because it didn't even seem like she liked her.
The maid's sticking around
like
because
it, yeah.
I'm waiting to get paid.
That
She
just
waiting
seemed
to
like
hasn't
that.
been paid in
it-
years,
no.
though. Like at that point, it's like
Years.
I'm out of
3
here.
years. 3
Like
years.
she should have robbed her a long time ago.
Maybe she
Years.
has been nickel and diming her a little bit. No, that character, like this episode was kind of a filler episode with a very popular character. I'll say
Right.
that.
All right, next episode.
Episode 4, this one gave me year 1 vibes, man. We're talking about the Night of the Hunters. I liked this episode.
This was dope. I like this.
This was a great episode. This episode had they're all out for Batman, as you guys know. You pretty much have what is a Firefly, this version of whatever Firefly is. He starts fires and they bring him out so Batman can like lure him for bait because them faking crimes wasn't enough. But it was really cool that Batman wasn't sure if they were faking in the shadows and he was ready to jump in because he is there to help. And how would he just know? But by the end, I did not see Bullock just shooting that guy in the face. I was like, oh,
yo, and
okay.
And one of the things this series did do well was we understand that this is TV 14. We understand this is not network children's TV, but I felt like they moderated the use of violence and they used their use of violence.
I could have used a little more blood. I could have used some blood on them gunshots.
Okay, but they still were shooting. People were still getting shot. People were still getting hit, and they were using their violence appropriately. And what I liked is that they throttled the violence. They didn't go way above and beyond and became like
and gratuitous.
For the sake. I think they did that. I think they did that well. That's one thing that they did do well.
And that whole them in the burning building, that just all felt like Batman year 1. He's escaping the cops, trying to save people, and honestly. This series is not better than Batman the Animated Series, not even close. But it gave me probably they gave me a moment in this that I like better than in the Batman the Animated Series, which is him and Gordon's first interaction with saving kids.
With the kids.
And Gordon had to see that he was more.
Yeah.
And they had to work together.
And they tell you about Gordon without saying anything about Gordon. Like he goes, Gordon is the one who saves that moment by knowing these buildings.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's a random kind of rundown project type building, and you're like, but he knows these streets, he knows this, and so you learn a lot about his character in that.
And he races down there to stop the police from escalating this. And then he gets in the building. Any of the other dirty cops would have took a shot at Batman. Forget these kids. And him and Gordon work together to save. I'm like, a moment like that. That's chef's kiss for me.
Right.
I wrote that this is an amazing episode.
Well, you get true character, and at least they didn't, assassinate Gordon's character in a way where they didn't do all the characters kind of like good service in this.
And that's, I guess that's where I disagree, because in all Batman lore, the only characters to not be affected is usually Batman and Gordon. Everyone else kind of gets changed around. Michael Caine's Alfred was this father that wouldn't let his son be a hero. Freaking Ben Affleck's Alfred is a soldier in the cause. The villains all changed. But what's always consistent is Batman if it's good. So for this, it felt like this Batman could have been in Batman and it's the same exact Batman. The world's just different. So I was cool with the changes on some of the characters. All right, episode 5, man. This is straight up the Harley Quinn joint. First of all, I love that we got. See, if y'all don't watch Batman 66, you don't know, but that was King Tut, and that was crazy. Crazy to see King Tut. So we're looking at the stress of her regard. Um, I think this is my favorite episode of the bunch. I love this. I like this episode a lot.
The previous episode was my favorite, but this was
Previous
a good
was
one.
a banger.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn finally was terrifying. Like she's
yeah,
supposed to
when
be
she got
terrifying.
down and she put when we realized she's bad. I mean, we knew she was bad, but when they revealed she was bad, and she's like, she's not. These people, these guys that are in these outfits, they're not drugged. They're just brainwashed. She's just psychologically tearing them apart so that they'll do what she says.
And because they're all bad or terrible people. Like she's just not doing it because you're rich. She's doing it because you people won't change. Your baggage is terrifying. I know your deep secrets, and there's only one way to condition you.
Right.
And what's great is when we see Dr. Harleen Quinzel, her voice is all kind of perky and it's kind of light and it's kind of reminiscent of Harley. But when she's Harley Quinn, it's deeper and more like freaking Hannibal Lecter. I dug this take, man. If you're gonna give me a different take of Harley Quinn, I'm like, I dig it.
I think I liked it. I think it's setting her up so that when she meets the Joker, she's more than just pudding. She has stuff to bring to the table when it comes to the Joker and then to
Or
Batman.
maybe this version doesn't have anything to do with the Joker. Like it doesn't have to be the way we saw it. It could be different.
Well,
And-
we know that she just she prefers.
And which is not a departure, because Harley Quinn is definitely bisexual, especially now. If you ever watch the Harley Quinn series, read the comics, and Renee Montoya has always been. She's been gay for a long time.
Yeah.
So this isn't. I'll tell you, this is the least racist, least sexist, least homophobic 1940s I can ever imagine. You got black people in high profile positions, women in profile. I'm like, oh, it's all fine in this version of the 1940s.
It is a comic book.
Huh?
That's a cartoon.
It's a comic book.
Gonna.
It was funny when like the baby
It's
came
the,
out and
it's
said
the
pudding.
1940s imagined by the 2020s.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
exactly what it is.
Let's erase all the hate and pretend it didn't exist.
Why are you living in the past?
Just change it. They made the costume goons make sense in this world. I thought when they all came out of the cages to fight Batman, I'm like, oh, this kind of makes sense why they're all kind of costume goons.
Because Harley it's part of Harley's psychological thing to break them down.
So it was like a trope of like the old cartoons or the old 60s, but they made it make sense for this scene while they're all dressed up in costumes. And Harley's not a true villain here. Like at first I thought she was kind of playing Barbara Gordon and playing Montoya and kind of like, no, but she legitimately is like, Dr. Harleen Quinzel is a real person. And when she learns that Barbara is in there, she races back while it's about to blow up.
You know, she's kind of like Batman in a sense of she's really only kind of taking it out on people who maybe deserved to have it coming.
Yeah. And when she locked Batman away, she was 100% sure he could escape. That's the reason why she locked him up like that. She's like, I don't want to kill you. I just need to get some time to get away from you. So she's not even a pure villain. And it was cool to see Barbara save Batman because, she'll become Batgirl, I assume, or Batwoman in this version eventually.
Yeah, that's kind of what they were setting up.
What's interesting, I'm going to skip all the way to the end because, we get a reveal of the Joker. Maybe a Joker kind of guy.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. It's clearly the Joker with the deepest voice we've ever experienced.
Which I loved, by the way. Because you can't do much. Don't give me a version of Mark Hamill. You're not going to do it. You got to do it different.
Yeah, I like that.
You got to do it different.
We just see him experimenting. It was dope.
Now, I tell you, there was 4 people in that cage in this Harley Quinn episode. King Tut, the baby, some other rich guy, and a guy just as a clown. There could be a theory that Harley Quinn creates the Joker.
Instead of the other way around.
Which I think is interesting. Yeah. If you're going to do it, turn it around.
That sounds very 2024, but yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Turn it around, Chris. Or we can have Joker drop her in a vat of chemicals and have the same exact psychological trauma it happened to him, which makes no sense.
It makes all
This
the
makes no sense. All right, let's move it on. Dr. Midnight, the Midnight Ghost episode, which
This
It
felt
was
out of
was-
place for this
I
whole
did
series.
not like it. It's called
Night
The
Ride.
The Night Ride, but that was Dr. Midnight, right? That's who that guy was supposed to be.
Yeah, the black dude's Dr. Midnight. The other guy, I guess he becomes Gentleman Ghost. He was going to be a Gentleman Ghost or
I
whatever.
have no idea.
Oh yeah,
But-
the witch doctor. Okay, Dr.
Yeah.
Midnight. Yeah.
Super.
Yeah,
super
this
out of place.
episode, I was like, why are we doing this? Like, why are we doing this?
I
You're
like
right. It just felt like
out of place.
it fell out of place. And if it wasn't for the fact that, hey man, it's a cartoon in the first place, what's the difference?
I mean, I feel like I like the fact that they're going supernatural. I just feel like they had to you have to interweave that in the very beginning, that
And
this
it's
world
not
can
like
lend itself to it.
it's kind of like seeing the Penguin having a giant bazooka on her boat and Catwoman driving a Thundercat mobile. It's like these are the moments where the content just kind of jumps the shark a little bit.
That not so much for me. If you show me in the first episode she has a bazooka on her boat, then I accept that this is this world and we can do that. If you wait till episode 6 to show me a ghost, then I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
Well, and Batman didn't, but also Batman didn't buy it as a ghost. You know, he was like, it's a dude playing a ghost. It's
Right.
up until the point he couldn't enforce that.
I was.
Right.
You guys remember that animated series episode where the girl had the imaginary friend, but it was the guy that had the invisibility cloak device, and it was really her
Mhm.
dad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was gonna be something like that, where Batman was gonna be like a Scooby Doo moment, right? Where we thought it was
Right.
a ghost, but no, he would have gotten away. Except it was for the meddling Batman but then it really was the ghost. I'm like,
Well, to be honest, in this content, an invisible cloak would have jumped the shark for me too. Because remember in the animated series, they set up science fiction from day one. Here, I would have been like, where'd this technology come? I would have still had the same kind of response of like, you did not set the world up for that.
The whole ghost backstory of robbing the poor just didn't make
Right.
sense. Like, why are you
Why?
robbing the people that don't have money? Like, what?
What does a
It
ghost
just
need with
didn't make
money?
sense.
They don't
Yeah,
answer
like
the question.
Like,
Uh,
look, we see Batman do supernatural stuff, and that's fine. But it just seemed way out of place for this content. It just
well,
seemed
you
weird.
you have
It
to
was
set it
weird.
up from the beginning.
This was the Mojo episode of this series. It was just weird and like filler episode. We didn't need this episode.
There was a nice moment though in the car between Alfred and Batman though that I really did enjoy. I think at the end.
Why did you do that? Why did you jump in front of him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like. You saw Batman's humanity starting to break through. I felt like
Finally.
that should have been more
Really.
the theme.
Appreciate this dude.
Episode 7. Episode 7. The moving target. Onomatopoeia is the bad guy. This is where I started getting tired, guys. This is where I'm
I zoned out on this one. I'm not even gonna lie. Oh wait, no, this one was the
This was actually pretty good. This was
I
when
zoned out a little bit.
they had the hit on Barbara Gordon, right? And then first it was Commissioner
Yeah.
Gordon. There's Barbara. They casually just killed Deadshot. Casually, the dude just shoots Deadshot and kills Deadshot.
could have been Jimmy Olsen. Could have been much worse.
Could have been Leonardo DiCaprio.
I think I have a hard time rewatching Batman the Animated Series because it is so episodic and procedural in nature. And the character never changes from episode to episode. It's just the crime of the week. And this episode, by episode 7, I was really feeling like, who cares? Batman's going to be this. Nothing's going to change with our main character. There's no evolution to him. I was like, who cares? I'm tired of like a new bad guy every episode. I want to see his detective work, but he keeps solving crimes in 20 minutes. It's getting tired.
The best part was the episode where he punched him and said "pow."
That was great.
Yeah.
No, Batman 66. Pow.
Yeah.
Damn.
That was cool.
Jack and Rich were not amused.
I just like I don't know. Maybe I was just getting tired at this point. I'm like,
They made Gordon dumb though. I didn't like how they made Gordon dumb and reckless.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay in my house.
I'm just
What
gonna
about your
stay here.
neighbors? It's
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna
come
stay
on,
here
guy.
exactly where these guys can find me. Okay, cool. That's
Come on.
cool.
But I didn't see the double cross at the end coming. I did not see that cop being dirty.
yeah.
I was like, well done, guys.
because he was putting his life on the line. You know?
For episodes. Like, he
Yeah.
was there.
Yeah.
Yo. Next episode, episode 8. We're moving along.
This was giving me, I don't know if you guys seen the movie Life Force.
Life Force.
Life Force. It was, when did that come out?
God,
It was like 85. 85. This is what this gave me. It gave me Life Force.
Did you guys pick up on one? There's one huge. Oh shoot!
Oh, that's exactly what she was doing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
It
exactly
gave me
it.
Life Force vibes. I'm like, okay.
So, did you guys pick up on one key thing about all the victims? They have one thing in common.
The children?
Orphans?
No,
Orphans?
no. They were all Robins. Dickie was the. It was the exact.
Oh,
same
yeah.
model.
I'm about to pull. Yeah.
And he was the exact same model they used from the animated series. The second victim was named Jason.
Yeah.
And the third victim, the one right there, that's Carrie. That's the Batman from Dark Knight Returns.
And she even had her slingshot.
Yeah.
She even had her slingshot.
It was very, very, very
And you
much.
got Stephanie Brown, who jumped in as Robin, the blonde one.
Yep.
That was cool to see. And which leads me to believe there could be, and yeah, the redhead is Jason Todd.
Yeah.
Which leads me to believe there might be a Robin showing up in this universe.
Dickie was the same model that they used.
Look at him. He's the same. It's the same. Yeah. The haircut's exactly the same.
Yeah. So
that was cool. This episode was fun. This episode reminded me of like one of them animated series episodes that were good. Didn't change the game, but it was a fun episode.
Yeah.
And by this point, I accepted the supernatural stuff.
She had an affliction.
An affliction. I'm like, man, she's like a soul-sucking vampire. What are we talking about?
But then Batman, the way he cared for her at the end was so
interesting. The way
interesting.
he carried her was almost shot for shot from Justice League when Ace was dying.
Yeah. It was a good moment.
Yeah.
Episode 9. This is a big one, guys. The Killer Inside Me. The birth of Two-Face.
And we've seen a lot of Two-Face origin.
Let me just say, I didn't believe his conflict between good and bad because he was a dick from the beginning.
I know. Where'd that come from?
Yeah.
From episode, I think we saw him in episode 1. He was just a dick to Gordon.
He was
to Barbara. I'm like,
he got Selena Kyle off. In her episode.
Yeah,
like,
he did.
When
so it's like, where did this conflict of like, oh man, I got to do the good thing now? Like, what? Why now?
That felt like
there was no big bad Harv. I don't know. Like I felt like it.
Well, Big Bad Harv was made for the anime. That's not canon,
right? But we got a 2-parter, just like we got a 2-parter here.
Yeah,
and the 2-parter we got from anime series was so much deeper and fleshed out in the same amount of time versus what we got here.
But I'll say this against the animated series: Two-Face makes no sense in your favorite series, Chris. We have this big bad Harv, psychological, multiple personality, and after those 2 episodes are said and done, he's just a gangster crime boss stealing money. For what? Who knows?
But that's why they had to get rid of him in this content.
Well, Big Bad in the original series, he should have just been out for revenge against the people that scarred him. Like that should be his only motivation. It should not be like all of a sudden start robbing banks. Why are you robbing banks all of a sudden? It made no sense. And why'd you get a suit, a 2-tone suit?
Gotta be flashy, you know. Gotta look good while you're robbing banks.
Gotta look good. Now, I mean, it's not as compelling, but I guess we can merge episode 9 and 10 together.
Yeah, we can.
You get flashed in the face.
What's interesting is Two-Face is kind of the good guy.
He is.
Harvey Dent is the bad guy.
Yeah.
In the end, when what did he say? I wrote it down. In the end, he says,
"Can you help her, Bashy?"
He's holding a gun at Batman, and he's being menacing, but the gun is covering the scarred face, and you only see the healthy face. And then in the end, when he was like, but in the end, when he is like being good, only the scarred face is showing. Yeah. It's as if him becoming Two-Face made the good side of him come out more, which I thought was an interesting take.
That is interesting. I'm not sure that is 100% what was going on, but I did notice that in times of like they juxtaposed when he was doing, dark bad things, they were showing the good face a lot. Which I thought
Yeah.
was you can just say it's a juxtaposition unless they're saying that
I think the
can't judge
injury.
a book by its cover.
I think before in the beginning, you saw this DA who doesn't mind getting his, hands greased, doesn't mind, but he'll
Right.
still kind of do his job. So he's like in the middle. And I think when he got scarred, the two sides separated.
Yeah.
He is good and
He-
he is completely bad. There is no in between Harvey, which is what we had for the most part.
Yeah, he did make a comment too that he didn't just start being bad when he was talking to Barbara Gordon. He just started being bad when he was Two-Face. He was bad way before. Like he was doing stuff way
Right.
before. So
It's
it was
just that
killing.
now his good side can come out without the bad side affecting it. But that
Yeah.
also means his bad side comes out without his good side taming it.
Yeah. So, but at the end of episode 9, I felt like it was almost a cop out. Like Batman talks to him, and he's like, "That's right, I'm a bad guy. Take me in." Like, and he just gives up. And I was like, it's kind of like a Martha moment. Like,
No, I disagree.
Why did you say that name?
I disagree. I think this content finally needed to be about Batman. And by Harvey not complying, you see Batman's lack of humanity. You see Bruce going, "Come on!" Like you just see that part of him come out that he hasn't dealt with.
well, we saw that after
That's
he
also why Alfred reprimands him.
yeah,
He goes,
Yeah.
He said you stepped over the line, Bruce.
But then it showed me that Bruce doesn't consider Harvey a friend ever.
I
He's
saw
part of
that
he's
too,
he's
yeah.
part of the
he's just collateral.
he's part of the cover.
Right.
Yeah, he's cannon
Or
fodder.
he even says I did what Harvey does to his people.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
I felt
he-
like it wasn't a Martha moment for me. Those moments exposed Bruce to me for who he really is, and I wish we got more of that in the series. But no, it wasn't as compelling as the heart. Like none of this is better than
No.
the original animated
No.
series.
No.
But you do get some really cool moments. It's cool to see
Yeah.
his face scarred, and it's not like blue; it's actually mangled.
Yeah, that didn't make sense to me. Like, I get the scarring because of the acid, but like, why are your teeth messed up, man? You had perfectly
Because
good teeth
acid,
on the
man,
inside.
it ate through the bone. Teeth fell
Ate
out.
to the bone,
Hell,
Rich.
mate, no, y'all don't know nothing. You just talking, all right?
You know, but look, I'll tell you this: this series was cool to see an adult take on Batman in an animated form. We got to see appropriate violence, and I got to see that these guys. I got to see consequences of the gangsters where we wouldn't have someone swoop in and save the day. Sometimes people just got, and I like that.
And I mean, what do you think about Two-Face dying in the end?
I think it was a cop out. I don't think he's really dead. I think something's gonna happen. I think he's gonna come back. I think they're throwing away a major character for.
Like his second heart's gonna kick in. Like, what do you mean?
No, he's
I
dead.
don't know.
I think he's dead, and he's not a big enough. He's not a big enough villain in this content to like have to fake
Right.
his death.
Yeah,
But
he's-
I think we know Two-Face as fans, but I think if we're just jumping to this content, having Two-Face die at the end, I don't think it's even though we got 2 episodes with him.
Nah, but look at what's going on, Chris. This content knows it's not running for more than a few seasons, so it's
Yeah.
gonna burn through 20. Batman's got plenty of villains, and they'll
Yeah, it's
burn
true.
through 20 villains, and they
Yeah.
don't need a double back. You're gonna get Mr. Freeze, and you're gonna get Riddler, then you're gonna get Scarecrow. You kill them all as
I
we
think
go.
we got a
Hey,
glimpse of
guys.
Killer Croc at the
We did see Killer Croc, and they called
episode
him
8.
Waylon. Yep,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
they beat him when they beat up Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, and Chris, I disagree. I think it's us knowing Two-Face that's making
Yeah.
us expect more. This was Harvey Dent's story.
Yeah,
It's about a guy who's both good and bad, who got scarred, and in the end chose to be good, and it got him killed.
yeah.
Like if you watch it as Harvey Dent's story and not a Two-Face Batman villain story, the arc is kind of complete.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. Yeah,
I mean, it's no different than the Dark Knight. It's exactly like the Dark Knight.
In fact, it's exactly like the Dark
It's
Knight.
exactly like the Dark Knight, except he was good. He was the White Knight.
Yeah,
But even in the comics in the original, it just makes no sense for this guy to also turn into a legit supervillain, just robbing banks. Like it doesn't make any sense. This version of him kind of has to go away if we're gonna do it realistically.
All right.
And you got Riddler, who hopefully is a freaking just like the Batman, just a guy who's like Saw, like Jigsaw. Just his riddles are composed of death traps. Hopefully we'll get that. Hopefully we'll get some version of Mr. Freeze that like sprays antifreeze on people and they just like their skin like it's not. Yes, Rich, I said antifreeze.
That doesn't make sense.
It makes all the sense in the world.
I think they did. That made the series of such great stuff with minimal characters. There was Clock King, and there was who was that? The guy Zeus, the guy who thought he was a Greek god. And give me guys that we don't know about, guys that aren't that popular. And if you're gonna burn through them, use them as cannon fodder. Use guys like that.
But you say that as a 40-year-old fan who grew up with Batman the animated series. Right. There's kids who watch Batman that are like, I didn't watch that old show.
But this is not the show for them, though.
It's not even.
Yeah, who is this show for? It's for us.
The show is for us. The show is for us.
But I feel like nostalgia does us a disservice.
Yeah,
we can't watch a thing and just watch a thing because when we watched Batman the anime series, we didn't have anything to compare it to.
This isn't like X-Men '97 coming back. That's not what we're watching.
It's its own thing.
Yeah.
And we have to kind of let it be its own thing. And what hurts it is that it's in the art style, similar.
It should have been X-Men '97 coming back.
Well, even the last.
I disagree with you. I completely disagree. We got that already. We got Justice League. We got Batman Beyond. They already did all the sequel shows to Batman the animated series. We know what happens to Bruce. He gets Terry McGinnis to jump in a Batman mech suit. Like we already saw what happens to them. But we never got Batman year 2 classic kind of detective noir.
Hey Connie, I got good news for you. We got Catman. They could look at Catman and then do a little thing there, a little scissor action.
Is that what men do, Rich? They scissor?
I don't know.
Is that what happens?
They sword fight.
Who is Catman?
That's Cat.
I
looked up.
Yeah, he's been a villain.
One of a lesser known Batman villains, and Catman is one of them.
Catman is definitely a villain, guys. Let me show you this.
Thomas Blake, a product of rich, sadistic father and actress turned trophy.
McFarlane came out with a Catman figure like last year too.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
What do you think about the design before we get out of here? It's kind of a cool evolution. I made this myself, by the way. It's kind of a cool evolution. I made this
very nice, Lawrence.
But I also think this is the problem. How can you not hold on to nostalgia when the animation is almost the same?
Yeah.
It makes you compare. But if the animation was closer to something like Invincible or even My Adventures with Superman, you would naturally draw a distinction between this and the other.
That's true.
That's what kind of helps it and hurts it. Chris, I just want to, before we rank this thing, you are our resident Batman fan. Nostalgia glasses are polished and ready to go.
Yeah.
How was it watching this departure?
I enjoyed it. I talked about the problems I had with it, but I enjoyed it more than I disliked it. I'll be back for season 2.
Me too.
I liked it. I like it better than My Adventures with Superman.
My Adventures with Superman is dope. Y'all are tripping. That show is dope. It's better than this, Chris.
Maybe objectively, but I don't enjoy it more than this.
There you go. Jack, you stopped talking halfway through. I feel like, did you finish this series?
I finished the series. I guess I was just underwhelmed by it, because even the last image we get of Batman is when he throws the batarang through the thing at the crime boss guy, nicking his ear, and he's standing there on the building with the light.
Homage to the Batman the animated series.
Yeah, it's like it's telling us the whole way through this that it's so inspired by that content. I just didn't think it was exciting ever. Like I thought it was heavier, more dramatic. I guess I liked the performances of it. I like the idea of Clayface. I like the way he was drawn, but again, it didn't hit like the animated series backstory of Clayface. I like the art of Two-Face. It felt like it was trying to be a drama, which I'm cool with. I like dramatic content, but I was never like excited by anything I was watching. Really, I appreciated moments. I like the Gordon relationship was kind of one of the only real relationships. Alfred had a couple moments, but I was a little underwhelmed ultimately, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not trying to be negative. Like
No,
I enjoyed it. I feel like such a Debbie Downer talking about it. Like I
don't think
blow my
anyone.
skirt
No
up,
one's
you know?
no one's high on it.
Yeah, no one's coming in giving this a 10, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, Rich, you don't even Rich doesn't have nostalgia for Batman, so
I
he's
don't.
really like this
Yeah.
is doo-doo juice.
I'm just like, why do we need to make the changes that they made? In those moments, I was just zoning out of it. I was like, I really had to focus. I was like, nah, like some of this, like, no, I just didn't understand why. I need to know why. What was the point? What was the purpose of it? Why would we need to have Ghost in it? Like why did we need all this?
Well, what do you think it should have been?
I feel like it should have been a little bit more with the villains. A little more with because I enjoyed in the adventures of Batman the whole Falcone thing. Like I enjoyed him fighting Falcone and the crime boss and all that stuff.
That's what Batman's the best. I swear.
Yeah,
That's what
I'm like
Batman's the best.
like they should have just had a little bit more of that. Like you could have knocked out the ghost and the afflicted girl. The vampire chick. She was a vampire. She was a supernatural vampire, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and then I would even get like I would take the fact that they changed Harley Quinn. I'm like, okay, cool. And then you can even throw the whole script on it that she made the Joker.
That's
Whatever.
my theory. I'm not saying that's what happened.
I'll accept that, but it's just like some of the stuff was just boring at times. I was like,
That's the biggest sin.
yeah, it was boring at times. Like at that point, if you're giving me changes and stuff to the story, and you're giving me a story and you're boring, I'm zoning out. I'm falling asleep. I'm 43 years old. I'm falling asleep now. You better keep me entertained. All right.
I mean, I agree. I also feel like Chris felt. I felt like maybe I was watching it faster than I should have been.
Yeah.
Just so we can do it. I do think like I said, I'm not a fan of episodic television, and it was wearing on me. I need to watch a character grow. I need to watch them evolve. And Batman didn't really have it. But what Batman the Animated Series had was we're going to give you dope, tragic villains to compel you through the material.
Yes.
This didn't have dope, tragic villains.
Freeze.
Mr. Freeze, Clayface,
Oh yeah.
Two-Face. I mean, all of them had like dope, tragic. And that made up for the fact that Batman never evolved. But you had these villains, all their origin stories. Here, the villains aren't as tragic, but Batman also isn't growing. So it's just like, what are we? And we also don't have this dope mystery that's at least keeping your attention. We're just watching Batman fight a villain every episode.
Yeah, whooped.
Yeah.
Even if I liked him getting whooped because at least there's some conflict happening. At least something's happening. But yeah, I felt like I do love the material because it fits my favorite version of Batman. But that's purple gloves. But that's me going in with a pre-decided like that the material didn't earn.
Right.
So
What do you give it? That's the question.
Are we ranking it?
Yeah, we watched the whole series.
Oh boy.
This is a 7 for me.
This
is a 7.
I'm not that far off. I'm at 6.5.
Less than me.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
I'm gonna give it one more watch through. Not anytime soon, but I probably will give it one more watch through on a slower pace and see if I like it better. But It was good. It was good, but it had problems. But I did go in with really, really, really high expectations, and that was also an issue with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this would have played better if it wasn't so close to the animated series because it wouldn't be compared to the animated series,
Very
which was
true.
good.
Very
Like,
true.
I think I gotta give it like a 5.5.
Wow.
Oof, it's rough.
Okay.
Jay. You gave Spartan a higher score.
Well, that's live action scores versus cartoon scores, but it's definitely not Darkwing Duck here.
Wow.
Let's get dangerous, baby.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it committed the sin of being boring for me, uh, and in some of the changes, but mostly being boring. I'm gonna have to give it a 5. It's a mid.
Oh,
Jack,
That might be a little bit too high for me.
Rich. So would you
What?
say this is bad?
If you're not into this, yeah, it's gonna be bad. And not maybe if you are into this, it might be bad for you too. Because I mean, look at Chris's score.
Yeah.
Chris
So
is
collectively, we
into
gave it a
Batman.
6.
Yeah.
I think it's
Gave it a
appropriate.
6.
The
6 sounds
best the best parts of it mirror Batman the Animated Series, and the worst parts of it don't.
don't.
Yeah.
And I think Harley Quinn, although they changed her, mirrors Batman the Animated Series as far as showing you the trajectory of a bad guy who has
Right.
humanity. It kind of like follows that formula of the bad guy isn't all bad, Mr. Freeze. But yeah, the rest of it just yeah. Well, that's our take on Batman the Caped Crusader. I might give it another watch at a different
Yeah.
point in time, maybe.
Yeah. I think it's.
I mean, I'll probably come back for season 2 just for the season,
I'm
just to see what they'll do with Joker.
Yeah.
But I'm not rewatching this season.
I mean, they're 20-minute episodes. It's not a huge.
a huge commitment.
10, 20-minute episodes.
Yeah, you're right. It's
Yes,
5
it
hours.
is.
No, they're 25-minute episodes, and then you got to factor in the commercials.
The
that they're
Yeah,
dropping
commercials.
now.
Amazon.
The commercials.
Yes.
You know, I actually think that those commercials are killing stories for me again,
Mm.
and they happen in weird spots. They just
Yeah.
kind of
Oh,
happen.
They tell you where it's going to happen. There's a little hash mark on the timeline.
I know they
It
show you,
just
but
doesn't
it's
make
like I
sense,
don't
though.
think they're
But-
because scripts used to be. Sorry, scripts used to be scripted where they knew a commercial break was going to come, so they would
Okay,
put a
all right.
button there that set you up for a commercial. Now commercials are algorithms, and they're just getting jammed.
Mid
in
sentence,
weird-
like, hey, GB.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
I'm watching
come on,
movies.
man.
I'm watching old movies on HBO or Amazon or something, and it's mid sentence you get a commercial, and it's like,
Mhm.
what?
Yeah.
So jarring.
Mhm.
Like, I'm serious about to pay the extra $3 or whatever it is, just so it stops killing the flow.
Amazon Prime is killing it. You got freaking Batman, The Boys, Invincible,
Yeah.
Fallout. Like it's all like they're kind of like dipping their toes in everything.
Like I'm already paying $100-something a year. Like, why are you giving me commercials, man?
Oh man,
It's everybody's
because they're making that much more.
Yeah.
They're just making that much more.
Trash.
Mhm. So we're giving it collectively a 7. I'll ask one more question, Chris. You watching season 2?
No. It was collectively a 6.
Oh, my bad. Collectively a 6. Chris, you watching season 2?
Yeah, definitely.
Jack,
Yeah,
Rich, just for the
I'm
Joker.
hoping they
I'm
give
gonna
him
watch it
the.
and see how they do.
You showing up for the gloves.
Come on, man. He needs an upgrade.
You're showing up
Give
for
him
the
an
gloves.
upgrade. I'm back.
You're showing up for the
The gauntlet.
scalloped gauntlets. All right. Well, Chris.
Yeah. I got some recommendations.
Recommend Chris.
So we talk about how this mirrors an animated series. I'm gonna give you some episodes to watch from the animated series to kind of cleanse your palate and watch the best cartoons ever made. No particular order. Robin's Reckoning. That story arc is fire.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Watch it. Number 2, for nostalgia glasses, Beware the Great Ghost. We get
Oh yeah.
Adam West alongside Kevin Conroy. It's kind of like passing the torch. Awesome.
And Bruce Wayne's a jerk. He shows up to these fan conventions and buys up all the Grey Ghost merchandise.
All of it.
and puts it in the Batcave, in a secret spot in the Batcave.
Exactly.
He's nuts.
He's nuts. 3, almost got him. It's when they're telling stories about how they almost caught Batman, but it's really Batman there the whole time. It's Killer Croc.
It's the only time the Penguin's relevant in the whole series. Is
Yep, it is Aviary of Doom. Number 4, the man who killed Batman. It's a story where this guy Sid the Squid, he's like this like up and coming like bad guy. He thinks he killed Batman, and the Joker is so angry that he was the one who killed Batman.
Yeah,
It's a banger.
Mm-hmm. That was great. That's a good one. That's
And
a
then
good one.
number 5 is like a full movie in a 20-minute episode. Is the one where Commissioner Gordon gets shot.
You love that episode.
Love that episode. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. That's it. Hold on. Sebastian!
Wait, I got some honorable mentions because you be hating on the New Adventures of Batman.
I do be hating on that.
You be hating on the New Adventures of Batman. The sequel series to Batman, the animated series, has some monster episodes. One episode that's, I'll give you 2 episodes that dope. 2 episodes that dope is like one with a scarecrow, where he makes Barbara Gordon. He gives her a fear toxin. By the end, you find out that she believes she basically dies, and Gordon finds out that Barbara's back.
Yes.
And he hunts down the Bat family. He gets Nightwing, he gets Robin. In the end, he kills Batman. And it's Barbara waking up from the fear toxin going, holy crap, if I don't tell him my identity, this could happen. That episode was fire. And then there's an episode where you guys got pretty much you find out how Robin becomes Nightwing. And that whole backstory to how like he punches Batman in the face, he throws his Robin costume down, he's like, I'm done.
sick.
So yeah, they had some bangers.
Yeah.
They had some bangers. Sebastian!
Sebastian.
Yep.
What do you got to show?
What you got?
So it had 5 bags. It's a Lego set. 5
I told you we
bags.
were Legoing hard
5
this week.
bags. All right.
5 bags.
Whoa.
Oh, all right. What is that? A little police van?
It's like a mobile command unit.
And it's worth the 5 bags. That comes
What's
along.
the age range on that?
It's not 18 plus, Jack.
I like Moon Girl, Corey. My friend plays Moon Girl. I'm
Then-
down with Moon Girl.
We have a whole base on it.
Nice, nice.
Wow.
Sick.
And that's where prisoners go. It's a little bit disappointing that
Hold on. Let me give you guys a
it has a
spotlight.
small prisoner space.
Such a small prisoner space, huh?
Oh.
They don't need that much space. They're going to do bad if they give them too much space.
Yeah, you gotta stack them on top of each other.
And,
open up in here.
and that opens. If you,
Hold it
want, if you want like a house,
Okay.
open that up. But
No, it's not that side. Other side.
But you don't realize that's actually to open
You gotta
it
show.
up like that. That goes
It's like the
down.
stairs. All right.
Yeah.
Like the Ninja Turtle bus.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's really cool.
Very cool.
So that's how we got. This what started the.
The Lego
I
process.
can't believe that's not 18 plus.
Jack!
Oh, I can't even believe they suckered you into buying an 18.
They didn't
plus
suck me.
Lego
I was
set.
actively looking.
He
Rich.
was throwing.
Actively
Wow.
looking.
He was throwing the money at it. He was like 18
I
plus.
was looking for a present for my friend Grant, and I saw this. I saw like, should we buy it? I said, yeah.
It's always the best. You got when you buy a present for someone else, you got to get a present for yourself. You know.
That's it.
Oh.
That's what I say.
Lego therapy is my word.
Lego therapy. I'm with it.
Well,
I'm with it.
Are you? How's that? How's that
Got the
Thanos
gauntlet.
gauntlet coming
It takes
along?
4
with
years to build this. I'm doing it's right on time. It takes
it?
4 years.
Takes
to
as
build
long
that
as it
gauntlet.
takes to
Lawrence
read
has
it.
it.
Man, Logan.
That's my boy, the star of the show.
Don't,
Yes, he is,
Hey.
dude.
Yeah.
don't snap it, or else
Yeah.
Oh,
I
don't.
would disappear.
Oh, it's a beer like Thanos. All right,
Snap it.
let's get packed up and let's get going.
Bangers are sausages. You know, I feel like I want to eat breakfast right now. You're right. I'm gonna eat some breakfast tonight later.
Breakfast and dinner is
Why
always
do
good.
we eat
Right
breakfast?
after this.
All right.
Wait, it's morning over there?
No, but it's getting late, so let's
Listen,
You want to
No,
close
but
this
it
out?
is getting late.
Sebastian,
So
when you get older, you realize you can eat breakfast whenever you want.
that
Okay.
is very true.
Wait, you haven't ate anything yet?
You can eat breakfast for dinner and dinner for breakfast. I can
Yeah.
have a steak for breakfast and eggs for dinner.
Or you can just eat
And-
ice cream.
Or you can just eat ice cream. As an adult, you can make
Ooh,
all
you
the bad
can.
choices.
You can. Yeah.
That's why our bodies fall apart.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Our parents were right. We should be eating vegetables.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's our show. Rich, do we have some outro music? And wait, Corey just said 18 plus is just branding and used to be labeled an expert.
What does he know?
Yes.
It means a lot of pieces and a big book of directions.
Right.
There you go.
Right. A 12-year-old can handle expert. All right.
Amen.
I was that 12-year-old.
Love your son, Chris. Great show. Thanks to all of you. Thank you for staying.
Thank you for 23.
Especially if you didn't watch Batman the Cape Crusader. You were just here.
hero's story.
Ride or die.
Ride or die.
All
All
right.
right, well, that's our show.
There go the dog.
They go to.
They go to dog.
He reminds me of
We got
lightning.
10 seconds, Lawrence, and we're right on the 3-hour mark.
Good.
All right. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
So we out. Catch the same bat time, same